Hello, 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 hello. All right. It is 10 o'clock at night. And I was going to start this when I got home. And then I got distracted and did stuff. And then I kept going, it's fine. I'll play later. It's fine. I'll play later. And then I was like, you know what? I don't plan on going to bed before 2 a.m. tonight. I have been. So this is actually unrelated to the game. It's not the game that's doing this. My insomnia has been real bad. And I know it sounds bad, but I have not been going to bed before 2 a.m. The last 4 or 5 days. So if that tracks, might as well play video games. If I do get tired, I definitely will stop. I do have every intention of doing a super long stream tomorrow. I'm going to start Sympathy's Kiss because I want to play it on day one, and I even left a slot on my VODs to have the very first video go up the very following day after it starts. Because I've been doing a lot better with making sure my VODs go up fast. And I don't know, not playing 5 days a week, which good. But we're going to do Sympathy's Kiss tomorrow. And then I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to get all of Cupid Parasite done in a very timely manner. We are only 2 routes from being completed. And then I have the steps. So I did the same thing with Rookie that I did, that I've done for this.
どの瞬間でも私は SS だからな。
So I have notes on here. So first one tells me to go to save number 29. It says there's a new option on this save. So on Allan's first meet, if you do not recall, he asked her to picture the other guys and being in a relationship with them. And her response was always, no. So we're gonna freeze up after hearing he's attracted to you instead. And then as a reminder, I fast forward through all these just to make sure I get the right responses. But I'm not reading what they're saying, so this is all new for me. Oh, you like that? Attractive. Hearing that, I'm struck speechless, which just mortifies me even more. No, I am not taking that as a compliment. He just wants to share, which provides a way, probably counterintuitive. Oh, God, there's a word, I'm sure of it. Probably a bad idea. But I have an energy drink here. And its flavor is citrus. I don't think I've had this one before. This is so I can stay up until 2 a.m. This is not acceptable. I slam my hand down on the desk. I'm suddenly furious at his shameless audacity. The audacity of this man. It's perfectly obvious why you haven't gotten married yet, Allan.
俺はただ他人に恋している女の子が好きなだけだよ。
I can't help if I fall in love for a woman who's already in love. What do you want me to say? That's morally and ethically completely off limits.
でも自分に恋をされても美味しくないんだよね。
But if someone falls in love with me first, I just can't find them attractive, you know? So you simply can't see someone as a potential mate unless they're already belonging to someone else.
そう受け取ってもらっても構わないよ。
I guess you could say that in so many words. If you aren't already aware, you should realize that polygamy is against the law. Let's start strong.
つまり結婚しなければ法に触れないわけだ。
Not as long as I don't get married, right? Why are you even here in the first place?
そりゃ結婚に興味があるからさ。
Because I'm interested in marriage. if you're going to make if we're going to make any progress, we're going to have to adjust your fundamental perspective of things. Also, this is my, it looks purple. And then I get on camera and it looks maroon. Purple. It's my best shot. I'm touched by your interest in me. All right, so that's the new one. And then we're going to load chapter 24 because even though 29 was where we were just at, this isn't in order.
マニア、熱狂的な愛ね。噴火したマグマのように相手も自分も燃やし尽くしてしまう。
Mania.
嫉妬心が強いのも特徴の一つね。
An enthusiastic love, a love that burns like magma for both you and your lover. These type tend to get jealous easily. Jealousy. I wonder what it's like to fall in love with someone like that.
そうね。確かにあなたに劇場的な一面があるなんて想像がつかないわね。普段は冷静だけど恋愛になると周りが見えなくなるのかも。
Okay. Okay. I lied. We're not Gucci. Continue to clean my glasses. All right. We're good now. Okay. It can be hard to imagine passion taking hold of us like that. You know what they say, love makes us blind. All right. Now we're going to load chapter 25, which I think I just decided to reuse. I didn't get past this one. And then in this case, Clarice has asked us, what date are we least looking forward to? Which, honestly, what a problematic question. Maybe Allan?
ああ、略奪パラサイトの。他人の女にしか興味ないんだっけ？
I went to Bath and Body Works because I had a coupon. And I got this because it's got a bunny on it. Does it work? Can I do this? Am I smart enough to handle this? It's sweet carrot cake. And it does. It tastes just like spice. I'm pretty excited about it. But I bought this so I could have it on my desk in here. I'm always running out of like something like lip gloss. I have lip gloss or chapstick right now, but I always end up losing one of them. So now I have a lip gloss and a chapstick for when my lips get dry. The sneaking thieving parasite. Isn't he only interested in unavailable women? Unfortunately, yes. So I want to show him how great one-on-one relationships can be, but I'm not sure how he'll handle that. The more the merrier is his motto. Ethics don't factor into his mindset at all. Flat out saying that it's normal won't be enough. In fact, even I'm not convinced.
意外とあなた、
That's the same thing she says every time when we get back to the generic conversation. All right, so now we're gonna go on our date with our boy, Allan. It says it's save number 30. All right. Saturday at 7 p.m. The boy likes to go out at night. Good evening. We decided to meet up at Allan's store to start our date. He was still dealing with the customer when I arrived.
ああ、いらっしゃい。ごめんね。店まで来てもらっちゃって。あと少しで閉めるから。
I never noticed that feather just sticking there. What's up with the feather? Welcome. Sorry for asking to come all this way out to my store. I'll be closing up for the night soon. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be waiting here till you're ready. I made my way to one of the corners of the store in order to stay out of everyone's way. For a pillow store, this place is actually pretty big. Pillow Luxuria is a swanky pillow store on 9th Avenue. I only knew about it thanks to Allan. I never actually seen it for myself before. 9th Avenue is mainly a high-class residential area, so I don't usually have a reason to visit. As I was looking around the shop, I heard women yawn from the back.
ごめんなさい。枕を試していたら寝ちゃったみたい。
I'm so sorry. I was trying out this pill and I guess I fell asleep.
当店の枕は快眠できると好評いただいてますから。
It's true. Our pillows are well renowned for their ability to deliver a good night's sleep.
本当にそうね。私もすっごくいい夢見た気がするわ。おかげですっきりしちゃった。この枕いただくわ。
There is a single hair just out of the corner of my eye. Treading ever so slightly in my field of view. It's still there. Still didn't get it. It's there though. I can see it. I believe it. I can just imagine all the sweet dreams this would bring me. I'll believe I'll take it home.
ありがとうございます。今お包みいたしますね。
I'm very glad to hear it. Allow me to wrap it up for you. Wow, it looks like he takes his job pretty seriously. From my corner of the store, I took a peek at Allan as he went about his task. Normally, he just talked about stealing people's girlfriends, so it was hard to imagine him with a proper job like this. But I guess if you're gonna have a store on 9th Avenue, you have to take it personally. Seriously.
それは素敵だ。旦那様もあなたみたいなマダムに愛されて幸せですね。羨ましいぐらいです。
Ah, how lovely. Your husband is a lucky man to have the love of such a wonderful woman. I must admit, I'm quite jealous.
あら、お口がお上手なんだから。
Oh, come now. No need to flatter me. I already bought the pillow.
本心からですよ。ぜひまた当店にいらしてください。マダムに会える日をまた楽しみにしています。
Oh no, I only speak from the heart. I do hope you'll grace us with your presence again. I'll be awaiting your next visit.
ラグジュアリーピローのアラン・メルビルがあなたの快眠を守りますから。枕のメンテナンスでも、それ以外でも。
Allan Melville of Pillow Luxuria is at your service for a good night's sleep and so much more. Huh. There was something ominous in those words, but Allan just kissed his elegant customer hand and gave her a sly wink.
素敵な殿方ね。わかった。また来るわ。
You're quite wonderful yourself, and don't worry. I'm sure I'll be back again very soon.
どうぞごひいきに。またのご来店お待ちしております。
Your patronage is much appreciated. I'll be here waiting. Allan escorted his last customer of the day out of the store. He then flipped the sign off to show that the store was closed.
ごめん、お待たせ。
Sorry to keep you waiting. No, I didn't feel like I was waiting at all. But Allan, are you always like that with your customers?
あのような態度？
What do you mean? Like with how intimate you are with them. Most store clerks don't hold their customers' hands, and they definitely don't kiss them.
焼いてくれたんだ。
You're not jealous, are you? No, I just want to make sure you're not overstepping your boundaries. I grabbed his arm and glared at him angrily. He just ran his hand through his hair and gave me a weary smile.
大丈夫。ちょっと枕で寝てもらうぐらいで、法に触れるようなことはしないよ。
Don't worry, I'm just here to help them pick out the perfect pillow. It's not like I'm doing anything illegal. I hope you're right about that.
心配するならうちの店に住み込みしてもらってもいいよ。君が来るなら大歓迎。
If you're really that worried, you're welcome to live here and keep an eye on me. Feel free to move in anytime. No thanks. I see absolutely no upside to that for me.
相変わらず君って可愛いね。こんな真面目で純情な子、初めてだよ。
Cute as ever. I see I've never met such a pure-hearted young lady. Allan snickered, then wrapped his hand around my waist and drew me closer to him.
それより君もそこに寝てみて。君にぴったりの枕を見繕ってあげるよ。
Why don't you lie down over here? I'll help you pick out a pillow that is just right for you. Didn't we already do this the other day?
あれはただ君に合いそうだと思って適当に選んだ枕だよ。本当はこの店にあるいくつもの枕からピタリと合うものを選ぶんだ。
Oh, that was just some random pillow I thought would be a good match. For a truly perfect fit, it should come from my store.
枕の中身も選べるからね。羽毛やパイプ、ウレタンとかがおすすめかな。
You can even pick out your own fillings. Personally, I recommend down feathers. Oof. I agree. Micro beads or polyester pellets.
この間のやつは少し高さが合っていなかったからさ。
When I was a kid.
君にうちの店に来てもらったタイミングで、ちゃんとしたのに変えようって思っていたんだ。
One of my sisters had a pillow topper that was made out of goose feathers, and it felt like I was lying on a cloud, and I loved to lay on her bed. The other pillow was a little too thick for you. I wanted to meet you here so I could swap it out with one that fits better. Right. Thanks, I guess. He really is serious when it comes to pillows. I gave a small nod of appreciation and he led me to a nearby bed.
さ、靴を脱いでここに寝そべって。前の枕よりももっといい夢を見させてあげるよ。
Now then, take off your shoes and lay down. I'll help you have sweeter dreams than that other pillow could ever hope to deliver. Just the way he said that made it seem way more suggestive than the words themselves. It's just a pillow, right? Why does he have to talk like that? That's what I was thinking as I climbed onto the bed. Wow, this pillow actually feels pretty amazing too.
気に入った?
You like it? Feels like my head is melting right into it. I never realized that just how nice a pillow could feel. I was impressed before, but this high-end store really is amazing. Something like this could give me a good night's sleep for sure. This is definitely even better than my last pillow experience at home. I was enjoying the incredible pillow. I felt a shadow pass over me. I opened my eyes and saw Allan hovering over me with a serious look on his face. Is he just coming in to adjust the pillow like he did before? Still, if this is how he treats all of his customers, I couldn't help but think that that was a bad sign. He really could get arrested for behaviors like this. As I was thinking about that, Allan pressed a lock of my hair to his lips.
ダメだよ。そんな無警戒な姿で寝たら。男は狼なんだからさ。
You really should be more careful, Leah. Lying there completely defenseless, men are like wolves, you know. Of course I realize that, but this is a pillow store and you're a pillow salesman, right?
そうだけど、俺は男で、君は女なんだ。力では絶対に勝てない。妙な人に襲われる前にさ。
True.
その無警戒さを直したらどう?
But I'm also a man and you're a woman. You could never overpower me. Just try not to be so careless or you might become a victim. He looked at me as if he were awaiting the right response. I don't. It's got nothing to do with you. Either way, Allan, it's got nothing to do with you. I'm still a god after all. When push comes to shove, I'm sure I can take care of myself. I just glared at him and let out a little laugh that seemed almost sad.
俺はさ、君が心配なんだ。あんまりに普通の女の子と違うから。
I just worry about you. You're different from any other girl I've ever known. Different? Different how? Oh no, did I let some part of my Cupid nature slip somehow? I thought I'd become human enough, but I still blurted out my question. In response, Allan kisses the base of my neck.
俺を前にして何も思ってなさそうなところかな。
Like how you don't care that I'm this close to
男
you
とし
right
てシェア
now.
ハウスしているのに
Or
何も
how
気にしていないところかな。
you're fine living in a house with a bunch of guys. He gave me another audible kiss on my neck. I heard a laugh deep down within his throat.
ねえ、君は恋をしたことがないの？俺が教えてあげなきゃダメ？
This boy! I have to ask, have you ever fallen in love? Do you need me to teach you how? Well...
君にはただの女の子として恋を楽しんでほしいんだ。だから俺は
I want you to enjoy that experience as a woman, so I'd be more than happy to. His hand brushed against my thigh. He grazed it so lightly I jerked reflectively, which led to me smashing my head straight into his. Ah! Ow! Unlike last time I smacked him, this one hurt me too. I glared at him while rubbing my head. I hope you don't expect me to apologize for that, Allan. That was totally your fault. What's the point of even doing things like that? You're only interested in other people's women, right?
まあだから君に恋のときめきを教えてあげようと思ったんだよ。今日は模擬デートでしょ。
What a man. That's why I asked if you wanted me to show you how to fall in love. After all, today's just for practice, right? How am I supposed to learn how to fall in love when I know this is how you act with everyone? No woman is going to just suddenly fall in love after you touch their thigh without warning.
あれ？そうなの？
You really think so? Allan looked at me with genuine surprise. He honestly thought that was a winning strategy. His sense of decency is completely screwed up. As his advisor, I felt like it was my duty to try and adjust his sense of morals. I asked him to sit on the bed with me. Listen, Allan, my guy, when you prioritize lust over love, nothing good can come of it. Only a truly sincere love can last.
誠実な恋ね。俺が今更できる気がしないんだけど。
Sincere, eh? I think I'm a little too late for that. But that's the only way you can have a truly happy marriage.
そうじゃないカップルもこの世の中にはたくさんいるけど。
I don't know. I feel like there are plenty of people out there like me who are in a perfectly happy relationship. But even if you manage to find a girlfriend, I'm sure you'd just start cheating on her with someone new.
まあ、俺が恋されても美味しくないからね。
Well, I'm not exactly looking for someone to fall head over heels for me. If you don't want to get married, fine. But as long as you're part of our company, I will try to get rid of this bad habit of yours. Otherwise, you have a non-stop complaint. I just realized. You know what? It's fine. I just realized my camera's on the upper screen because I was playing Helldivers last, and I usually have it in the bottom corner. But you know what? This is fine. You can read all the text this way. Alright, otherwise we'll have non-stop complaints from our members, and if he did get married, it'd just end in divorce and a lawsuit. I know other advisors are just focused on marriage, and I don't think too much about the details. And because of that, even within our company, we have cases of members separating not long after marriage. I'm not okay with that. After all, I'm the god of love. Relationships and romance are my responsibility. Did you forget that this is a practice date for you, not me? If you don't make some effort to fix the things that make you the thieving parasite, we'll ban you. You hear me?
ああ、わかったわかった。ごめん。俺が悪かったよ。だから機嫌直して。
Okay, I'm sorry. Come on. Cheer up, okay? For me? Do you really understand what I'm saying?
もちろんさ。ほら、それよりも枕を決めなきゃ。さっきのはちょっと高かったから、別のを試してほしいんだ。
Let's get back to choosing your pillow. I'd like to try one that's not quite so thick. Allan kissed me again, this time lightly on the cheek. He really doesn't understand anything. Anything at all. He wandered off to find another pillow. While he was searching, I wrote down some Allan-specific ideas for our next workshop. I think that's it for the day. Oh, no, wait. I lied. In the end, it took over an hour to put together my own personalized pillow.
これでようやく君にぴったりの素材と高さの枕ができたね。プレゼントするから、早速今晩から使ってみて。
This pillow was the absolute perfect thickness and material for you. Consider it a gift. I'd love for you to try it out tonight. Allan winked at me and started wrapping it up for me. I hadn't realized until this moment, but... Wait, a gift?
そうだけど、気に入らない?
Yes, don't you like it? No, that's not it. It's so soft and comfy. I love it, but aren't your pillows really expensive?
まあ、そうだけど、君がゆっくり眠れる方が大事だよ。
Well, they are, but it's important to me that you're able to get a good night's sleep. But you don't need to give me anything, especially not something so expensive. I took out my wallet and started to run to the register, but he put out his hand to stop me.
いいんだよ。俺が送りたいんだ。
It's fine. It's fine, really. I want to give this to you. Somehow Allan was looking at me in a way he never had before. He was looking at me, but in a way he wasn't. He was almost looking through me, like he was searching for someone else. Have we discussed reincarnation in this game? Is that a possibility? Could she be a former love of his? Does she not even know? We already established that she's the 79th Cupid. There's been 79 Cupids, and anytime a Cupid falls in love, another one comes into play. And we also established that he used to live in Celestia. So, like, is it a possibility? Could he be looking into the eyes of someone he used to be in love with? It's not like she has amnesia. So... Actually, no, we did establish reincarnation in Raul's route, because Raul is the reincarnation of somebody. I can't think of their name. Something the Great. Arthur the Great. Something the Great. Alright, he brushes his hand against my cheek, but this time it didn't feel gross at all. It was so gentle and sweet, I couldn't help but take his hand.
Nah.
Listen, Leah. Yes? The atmosphere was tense. It wasn't excitement, exactly, but my heart was beating faster. I just laid there waiting to hear what he had to say. He just smiled at me and then...
俺たち、前に会ったことあるよね。
We've met Summer before, haven't we? Huh? That phrase sounded oddly familiar. I was pretty sure it was a line from one of the movies Aunt Minerva had shown me. Is this what Allan is like when he's actually hitting on a girl? I'd nearly fallen for his serious demeanor, but in the end, I was a fool for thinking he'd changed so quickly. I would love that. I would love that. I would love that this is a reincarnation route. Ooh. Ooh. Let me fall in love again. Seriously, you're trying to use a pickup line from some old movie on me? Nobody would fall for that in this day and age. You're awake at this hour? Me too. Yeah, I'm awake. My insomnia has been hitting me pretty hard the last few days, and I have a new game coming out tomorrow that I want to play. And I'm not done with this game yet, so I'm going to get as far into this game as I can. Start my new game tomorrow, and then continue this one the day after. Because I want to get on day 1 for the new game. Alright, things are suddenly awkward, and I tried to laugh it off. What game? It's called Sympathy's Kiss. It's also an Otome game like this one. It's got a voice actor from one of the other games that I love. That he's in so many Otome games. You'll know him as JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but he does other voices too. He's in a lot of Otome games. And in that story, you work for you'll appreciate this actually as someone who works for TikTok. You work for an app store, and an app that's on the app store, and you're having some financial issues, and so you get put into a program with a certain group of people, wink wink wink, and it's literally like, will the app go under or will you find true love? It's one or the other. So we'll find out. Will I find love or will the app company go under? Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's out tomorrow on Tuesday. It releases. Some people already got their copies, which I'm sad about. Was not me. Things were suddenly awkward, and I tried to laugh it off, but for some reason, Allan just revealed a sad smile.
そっか。そうだよね。
Listen, I understand. You're not excited about the game I'm excited about. That's okay. I'm totally excited though. But yeah, it comes out tomorrow, and I have 2 more stories to play through on this one, so. And then Tengoku Struggle comes out in April. I'm really struggling, you see. I guess I should have expected that. This is a reincarnation route. I'm the happiest person in the world. Huh? For some reason, his mournful gaze made my heart ache. Could it be we really had met before? But I seriously doubt I would forget meeting someone who clearly leaves such a strong impression. Besides, I'd only been in the human realm for 6 years. I felt like I'd remember pretty much anyone I'd met. I must have looked truly confused because he suddenly reached out to me.
なんて、ここでのんびりしていたらデートしそびれちゃうな。そろそろ行こっか。
This date started at 7. It's now 8. If we keep lying around here, we won't have time for our actual date. Shall we get going?
枕は荷物になるし、ここを置いていこう。帰りにまたうちの店寄ってもらってもいい？
The pillow's a little bulky to carry around, so let's leave it here for now. We can come back and get it afterwards. Sure, I guess that's okay. I still wasn't totally certain of what had just happened, so I just nodded in agreement. Did Allan not notice the look on my face, or was he just pretending? I thought about that as he gathered his things to leave. Ooh. From there, we just walked around in the night air and had a fairly casual conversation. Wait, so you don't actually own that store?
と言っても、いつも旅行に行ってて全然店にはいないけどね。
Technically, no. But the actual owner's never there. He's always out traveling here and there. Wow, I totally thought that was your place.
まあ、実質的には似たようなもんかな。他に従業員もいないし、オーナーは帰ってこないし。
Well, that's not too far from the truth. Like I said, the owner's never around and there are no other employees. Things were feeling much more relaxed with Allan than I was expecting. Okay, cool. I figured he'd be aggressive the entire time, but I guess he's capable of carrying on a normal conversation after all. If he couldn't just be this way if he could just be this way all the time, I'm sure he could find a nice girlfriend with no problem.
あ、見て。そこ、シェアサイクルが置いてある。
Look, they have some rental bikes. You're right. These things are so convenient. You don't have to maintain them or anything.
そうそう。だから俺シェア好きなんだよ。
That's true. That's exactly why I like things that are shared. Shared. Whenever Allan uses that word, it sounds so ominous.
俺もよくシェアサイクル使うんだけど、気に入ったバイクはこのアプリで検索できるんだよ。知ってた？
I use these bikes a lot. Did you know there's an app that will let you search for the exact one you want? Wow, really? I had no idea. That sounds really useful.
このアプリ、女の子にも使えたらいいのにね。そしたら今、君が誰のものか一発で分かっちゃう。
I wish there was an app like this for girls. That way I could tell right away if she belongs to someone else. How exciting. Your imagination is so weird. I made no effort to hide how creeped out I was, but he just smiled right back at me.
でも、シェアサイクルはいいんでしょ？お気に入りのバイクがどこにあるか分かると便利だって言ってたじゃない。
But you don't mind sharing a bike, right? Wouldn't it be even better to know exactly where to find your favorite one? It's different when you're talking about a bike.
それが人間の女の子相手になった途端 NG なのがやっぱりわからないんだよな。
Is it? Why can't you apply the same idea to a partner? That makes no sense to me. Seriously, how does someone end up like this? What does someone have to go through to develop such a strange fetish? Is it from some kind of serious trauma? That's not something I can fix. That calls for a trained psychiatrist. You went to school. I'm really not sure how involved I should get. I'm just a bridal advisor. My job is to take whatever information I can get, and I'm trying to cross my legs, but my other leg is caught on the sock. There we go. My job is to take whatever information I can get and introduce compatible partners. And we've got the Cupid system to help with that too, so things usually go pretty well. Actually, I did say I thought humans could handle things for themselves, but now here we are relying on machines. We made the machines, girl. In a way, doing everything I can for the Parasite 5 is a true test for my godly skills.
見て。バブルティー売ってる。
Oh my god, Allan.
飲まね。
Take me. This place has bubble tea. You want some? Looked up when Allan called out to me. I noticed a small food truck selling bubble tea. Wow, that does look good, but isn't it kind of filling? We want to leave room for dinner, right?
夕飯？あれ？そんな時間なんだっけ？
Is it dinner time? It's already 8 o'clock. Did you not usually eat dinner or something?
お腹も減らないしね。バブルティーは好きだからたまに飲むけど。
I don't really get that hungry normally. I like bubble tea, so I just get it whenever I'm in the mood. Down. Let's go. I see. Well, we're supposed to be on a date, so let's get a proper dinner.
OK? じゃあバブルティー買ってくるよ。
Okay, gotcha. Then I'll get us 2 large bubble teas. Allan tried heading to the food truck, so I quickly grabbed him by the shirt. Where are you going? You're still gonna buy bubble tea after what I just said?
え？あれ？変だった？
Did I do something wrong? We're supposed to be practicing a real date, right?
だから夕飯にバブルティーを。
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna buy us bubble tea for dinner. That's unacceptable. I mean, it's probably acceptable for some people, but it's definitely not normal.
え？でも夕飯食べない女の子って結構いない？
But there's plenty of girls who don't like eating dinner, right? Well, I'm sure there are some. If we're both on the same wavelength for food preferences and habits, it's fine. But if you ask a girl to go to dinner with you and you show up with a couple bubble teas, we're gonna get complaints for sure.
そっか。人間はお腹が減る生き物なんだっけ？
I see. So hunger, is that important to humans, huh? Why do you talk like you're not human? That's not something you can just go around saying, okay?
ごめん。でも見て。 あそこのワゴンカーでは他にもホットドッグとか売ってるよ。それじゃあダメ？
Okay, okay. Ah, look, that food cart has hot dogs. Is that acceptable? I need to screenshot that conversation. It's pretty nice out tonight, so but other girls might have a different outlook, so you need to pay attention to their reactions when you suggest things.
OK? ひとまず買ってくるよ。それで一緒に公園で食べよ
Right, I understand. Anyways, I'll go get a couple hot dogs and we can have dinner in the park. And bubble teas. Get both. Let's do both. We end up getting bubble tea to go with our hot dogs and head to Lost York Park. This is my perfect idea of a date. Depends on what kind of hot dogs I got too. Sometimes depends. There is a couple places that do like corn dog style. And then technically Sonic hot dogs. I like Sonic hot dogs a lot. All right, let's see. We sat down on a bench together and got to work on our hot dogs. I have to admit, this is pretty good.
う。このバブルティーもすごく美味しい。黒タピオカがもちもちしてて最高。最近全然飲めてなかったから嬉しいよ。
Does she? Bubble tea is wonderful, isn't it? I just love those chewy little pearls. I haven't had it in a while, so this is nice. You really love bubble tea that much? I wouldn't have expected that.
そう？
Really? Well, just because you seem so mature, I wouldn't have pegged you for someone that eats a lot of sweet stuff. He didn't say he eats a lot of sweet stuff. He says he eats bubble tea.
甘いもの？これは酸っぱいだろう？まあそもそもあんまり食べないけどね。
Sweet? No, this is sour. Either way, it's not like I have it every day or something. Bubble tea is sour?
このバブルティーだってサイクリング中たまたま見かけて飲んでみたらハマったってだけだし。
I was out cycling one day and just happened to notice a cart selling it. I basically got into it by chance.
一時期すごい気に入って毎日飲んでたんだけど、意外とこれ太るから。最近は月に1回ぐらいにしてるんだ。
I feel that. That's a mood, Alan. At first, I actually was drinking it every day, but I didn't want to start putting on weight, so I cut back to once a month. Well, with this big smile on his face, Alan took another drink of bubble tea. There were some odd word choices in that conversation, but overall, this does have the feel of an actual date. Eating in a normal restaurant is definitely nice, but there's something refreshing about having dinner on a park bench. If he could get rid of his weird fetish, I'm sure he could get married right away. I took a bite of my hot dog and glanced over at him. He had some breadcrumbs stuck to his lip and stuck out his tongue to wipe them away. I don't know if I need this in a sentence. His lips were glistening with saliva, which I suddenly realized was quite sexy. I quickly turned away. Still can't figure out why Alan actually decided to join Cupid Corps. He clearly is satisfied with his one-night stands and has no desire to get married. Does he maybe have some other reason for joining? But if so, what could it be? I risked another peek at him. He was looking down at his hot dog, which I found to be equally sexy. I seriously couldn't figure this guy out. All I could do for now was finish my hot dog. Interesting. I don't think she called any of the other guys sexy in the prologue. Eventually, we continue our date and enjoyed an evening in the park. Around 10 p.m., we returned to Alan's store.
はい。じゃあ改めまして。
Well then.
枕をどうぞ。
Here's your pillow. Thank you. The pillow had been lovingly wrapped and placed in an elegant paper bag. Alan handed me my gift. So this is our date. Shall we return to Parasite House?
まあ、それなんだけど。 実はさ、俺ここの2階に住んでるんだ。
About that, actually,
君も寄っていかない？
I live here above the store. Would you like to see? I'm sorry?
パラサイトハウスだとゆっくりできないでしょ？だからさ、たまには二人きりになろうよ。
I feel like we can't relax at Parasite House. Why don't we spend some time alone here instead? What? He took my arm and whispered those words to me seductively. I immediately smacked his hand away. This is exactly why you're not married yet. Besides, I'm not your type. Remember?
別に必ずしも好みのことだけ寝るわけじゃないよ。
It's not a law that I can only sleep with girls that are my type. Well, regardless, I suggest you stick to your type and try to find love. I'm going home. I took my pillow and stormed out the door. He's such a remorseless player. He seriously tried to get me into bed on our first date, our first practice date. No matter how many times I tell him, he refuses to understand. I carried my irritation all the way to the subway station.
ダメだな、俺は。あの子に素敵な恋をしてもらいたいのに、うまくできやしない。
I guess I'm just terrible at this. I wanted her to experience the ecstasy of love, but I guess I can't seem to get it right.
この体に染みついた癖が抜けない。こんな自分が。
Oh, that's a new expression. I don't think you've made that face before. I'm completely incapable of getting rid of these bad habits of mine, and I hate myself for it. You can't help what you are. That's not the same. She doesn't know. And that is the date. All right, so now we're officially past all of that. We're gonna close our eyes, pretend for a second. I've done all of the choices, and I've gotten us onto the route, and it is save number 31. This is the start of his route, so let me close my notes, since that's the last of my notes for now. The angel face demon. 21 years ago, the underworld. Oh.
これじゃない。
Not this one.
これでもない。
Not this one either.
これだ。
Ah. Here we go.
そうか。こうすればいいのか。
I finally figured out how to proceed.
ようやくキューピッドの矢を奪える。
At long last, I can take away Cupid's bow. Ominous. Let's see. Oh, nope. You're right. That's the bottom of it. All right, let's see what his flow chart looks like. That is a long wall. One bad choice. Two bad choice. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, he's got like we just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got so far to go before it even affects anything. One bad end, whatever the heck that is. That's usually the B ending. Interesting. Okay. All right, we're back to business as usual. After the final Finale of Parasite House. Each of the Parasite 5 had canceled their membership, so I was looking over their profile sheets one last time. I wonder what happened to Allan. Specifically Allan, the 28-year-old incubus, not succubus, because incubuses are boys and succubuses are girls, and I just forgot the difference between the two. I haven't heard from him at all. He canceled his membership without a consultation or even letting me know directly. I wonder if he wrote down a reason for why he decided to leave. On the cancellation form, there's a box for them to fill out their reason if they want. On the cancellation form... It's weird. I pulled up the form to take a look and I could hardly believe what I saw. Terminated due to violation of contract terms and conditions. Terminated due to violation of what? What the heck? Does that mean he actually... Based on his past behavior, I had an image... I had to imagine it must have been something pretty bad. But there weren't any further details, so I decided to go talk to the coworker who had handled his termination process. Excuse me, I was hoping you could tell me what happened with this. I handed her a printout of the form and her face immediately turned sour.
Allan Melville! もう大変だったわよ。あいつ、うちの担当会員に手を出してね。
Allan Melville, do you have any idea how much trouble that little shit has caused us? He's been messing with our other members. From an advisor to refer to a member with this kind of language, whatever he did, it must have been pretty bad. According to her, this is what happened. We set up a number of couples who were just about to enter into a serious relationship, but one after another, they all broke up. And the reason for that was Allan Melville. He went from woman to woman, asking them each out on a date, and one by one they agreed. Once you started a formal relationship, you can't date other members. It's company policy. I guess they saw it as one final test. But in every case, the woman said they had fallen in love with him and called off their previous connection. But for his part, Allan refuses to go out with any of the women again.
全員失恋して終わり。本交際を邪魔されるわ。女性会員様は退会するわで大変だったの。
Both the men and women ended up with broken hearts, their relationship fell apart, and all the women left the company. They all canceled their memberships?
そう。なんでもみんながみんないい夢を見られて、それが忘れられないなんて言い出してね。
They sure did, and they all said the same thing. I had an incredible dream. I'll never forget it.
そういえば、なんだか変なことも言っていたわ。現実の男よりも夢の方がいい。
They also said weird stuff like, I'd rather live in a dream than deal with a real man. A real man.
今考えてみると、アラン・メルビルと結婚したいわけじゃなかったのかしら。
I guess
よ
in
く
the
わから
end,
ないわ。
they didn't actually want to marry Allan either. Honestly, none of it makes sense.
何にせよ、あいつとデートした女性会員全員よ。だから上司に掛け合って彼を退会処分にしたってわけ。
Either way, after he dated all those women, one after another, I went to my supervisor and petitioned to get him kicked out. I see. After the giant headache he had caused everyone, all I could do was sigh. I think I understand now. Thank you for dealing with that trouble.
アドバイザーとして当然よ。まったくサークルクラッシャーってやつよねこれ。百害あって一理なし。
That's our job as advisors, right? Sometimes you just got a toxic member like that. All pain and no pleasure, am I right?
にしても、パラサイトハウスの前はこんな大々的な問題にはならなかったのに、どうしていきなり略奪しまくったのかしら。
But he never caused this much trouble before Parasite House, you know? Why would he suddenly go on a dating spree like that?
どっちにしろもう大会になった人のことよ。変な責任感を持たずに、あなたも早く忘れた方がいいわ。
He's gone now. Just put it in the past and don't give it another thought. Yeah, I sighed again and returned to my desk. Of course, waiting there to welcome me back was the same profile sheet of Allan's. I hit the button. It's the second time it's froze. Damn it, I can't believe how many women he screwed over, and right before they wound up in serious relationships. He was basically a Cupid's worst nightmare. I wonder how many happy couples there'd be right now if it weren't for him. I recall that smug look on his face when he called someone our darling and felt anger rising up in me again. I need to talk to him about this. I don't want to ever have to deal with something like this again. He might not be a member of Cupid Corps anymore, but I still wanted him to reconsider his perspective on dating. My coworkers always told me not to feel so responsible, but all I could see was a future without marriage thanks to him. I really hope we can find a way to meet up again somehow. I mean, he has a shop. Why does he have to steal from other women? Why? Now that he wasn't a client, I could ask him. Everything was off limits before. I wouldn't have to hold back anymore. Just then, the phone began to chime. The special type of ring told me it was an outside call. Who could it be? Hello, this is Miss Mirror.
お疲れ様です。パラサイトハウスの管理人です。今よろしいですか?
Hello there. This is the proper manager of Parasite House. Do you have a second? Property. Oh, frankly, this was a complete surprise. Of course, how can I help you? Is there a problem? Or for a second I was worried. We might have damaged something during our stay there, but his tone was quite relaxed.
実は枕の忘れ物があったんです。社長にご連絡したらこちらに連絡するようにと言われまして。
Not at all. Actually, it looks like someone may have left a pillow behind. I contacted your CEO and he told me I should talk to you. A pillow. It had to be one of Allan's. I see. If you don't mind, I can come by later and pick it up. Then I can return it to the owner myself.
ありがとうございます。ではお待ちしております。
I really appreciate that. I'll let me know a time that's good for you and I'll meet you at the house. We agreed on a time for me to stop by and I hung up the phone. I just been hoping for an excuse to talk to Allan again, so this was perfect timing. As a bridal advisor and as a literal god of love, I simply couldn't tolerate the stealing of partners. I made up my mind to confront Allan and began preparing a list of talking points. A few days later, after work, I headed for the subway to take me to Allan's store on 9th Avenue. It turned out I was right. The forgotten pillow belonged to Allan. That was what was in the paper bag I was currently clutching. While I was walking to the subway, I took a look at my phone. What's this? An article has started trending urban legends of Lost York. Ooh, intriguing. I love myself an urban legend. Let's go. I started reading it. One of the legends they mentioned was that women in the city had started having strange, erotic dreams. It said that women had started breaking up with their partners because their dreams were too good. What a strange urban legend. I can't see why people would start breaking up just because of some weird dreams. I was puzzled, but I just moved on to my daily routine of checking out the Cupid hashtag. How peculiar. After a while, I arrived at Allan's store, Pillow Luxuria. I hadn't been here since our practice date. I probably should have told him I was coming, but I didn't want him to weasel out of this. I was hoping to catch him during the store business hours. Here I go. I love the charmed music inside here. I slowly open the door and nervously peek into the store. I spotted Allan helping out a customer.
では、高さを確認いたしますので、体から力を抜いて、天井をまっすぐに見てください。
Next, I need to check your height. Just relax your body and stare straight up at the ceiling.
こう？
like this?
ええ、眉に包まれているイメージをして、息を徐々に細く長くしてみましょうか。心地いい浮遊感を得られると思いますよ。
Perfect. Imagine being wrapped up in a cocoon. Relax your breathing. Embrace the pleasant sensation of floating away. The woman was lying on the bed in the store. She must have been there for a pillow fitting.
そして、そのまま目をつむってください。いい夢が見られますから。
Just keep your eyes closed and you'll have the most wonderful dream.
夢。そうね。なんだか眠くなって。
A dream? Yes, I am getting kind of sleepy. Allan snapped his fingers and she went perfectly still, as if all her energy had been zapped away. She was fast asleep. What the? Was that some kind of hypnosis? Just as I was getting ready to lean in for a closer look, the strangest thing happened. Wait, does he actually have long hair? Oh my god. Oh my god, really? Like Allan. Allan's eyes became two tiny fires and a long tail flickered into existence. Wind whipped around him, rattling the windows. What on earth? My hand went to my mouth at the sight of what was clearly something other than human. Is Allan some kind of god? The way his eyes lit up reminded me of how my dad looked when he reached for his axe in anger. And even I did something similar when I used my Cupid bow. I would sprout feathers and start to glow. What was happening to Allan is exactly what would happen if a god were using their powers. Suddenly, Allan leaned directly over the woman. And then he thrusted his hand into her body. Well, to be more precise, he thrust his hand into some kind of fog that had begun to gather around her. And in the next moment, his entire body disappeared into the same fog. What the? I just stood there completely dumbfounded. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. Also, lock your door when you're doing this. I didn't know how much time passed, but eventually he reemerged from the fog. He slowly licked his lips and snapped his fingers again. With that, his tail disappeared and the fog hanging over the woman began to dissipate. The next moment, the apparent customer stirred and gave a big, long stretch. Then she slowly raised herself up.
よく覚えてないけれど、なんだかいい夢が見られたわ。ストレスも全部吹き飛んだみたい。
Can't really recall it, but I just had the most wonderful dream. All my stress seems to have melted away.
こんなに元気になれるなんて本当にいい枕なのね。この枕買っていくわ。
This pillow really is something else. I had no idea it could restore so much energy. I'll take it.
お買い上げありがとうございます。
I do so appreciate your patronage. The woman happily paid for her pillow and left the store. Once she was gone, I made my way into the store. Allan, what the hell was that? When he saw me, Allan's eyes went wide for the briefest moment, but he quickly caught himself and returned to normal.
ああ、久しぶりだね、アワーハニー。機嫌はどうかな？美しいお嬢さん。
So good to see you again, our darling. How is the most beautiful bread advisor I know?
ちょうど可憐な君にぴったりな枕があるんだ。よかったら今。
You know, we just got a new line of pillows I think he would love. If you'd like, we can. Don't try to change the subject. Seriously, what the hell did I just witness?
何って。普通にお仕事してただけだよ。
What do you mean? I was just doing my job. You're not talking your way out of this one. I saw everything. I saw you go inside that woman. His face changes again. His eyes showed something not quite alarm, not quite melancholy, but something in between. He quickly recomposed himself again, then just smiled and shrugged his shoulders.
あれおかしいな。誰にも見られないように結界貼ってあったはずなんだけど。
Is that right? How odd. I thought I'd put up an interference field as usual to keep anyone from seeing me. Then he smiled at me with the most bewitching smile.
バレちゃったなら仕方ない。君が見たままだよ。俺は悪魔。
But you saw what you saw. The truth is I'm a god. You're a god, aren't you?
は？
Huh? Lost in the excitement of meeting my first god in the human realm, I rushed to Allan. Like, oh my god, Allan. Maybe other gods had decided to check out the world of man, or maybe some had been given some specific orders. Whatever the case it may be, this was my first time seeing another god down here. The truth is, I'm a god too. Can you tell? So what's your real name? Your divine name, I mean. I had the same excited energy I got when I was talking to Clarice sometimes, but I was so happy. I just couldn't hold back.
いや、
well. I'm actually Cupid. I'm not part of the Decod Sun Tent, of course, so you probably haven't heard of me. Come on, you're from Celestia, right? What god are you? Like, what god are you? Like, tell me. Like, I'm so curious. Like, I didn't even give you a chance to answer, so like, you have to tell me now. I just stared at him, hoping he wasn't like the god of robbery or something. After a moment, Allan burst out laughing.
俺が神何を言い出すと思えば
Me a
本
god.
当に君ってとぼけてるね。
Boy, you're really something. But you are a god, aren't you? No mere mortal can do anything like that.
君は摩訶不思議な力を使う存在は全て神だって思ってるわけだ。
You honestly think that any being who can do something like that must be a god? But isn't that right? I mean, of course, I've read about things like psychics and stuff, but I've never met one personally. I just thought maybe you were a god that was taking a little trip down here from Celestia or something. I mean, that's what I'm doing. If my aunt or mom were down here with us, they'd probably describe me as kind of psychic.
つまり箱入り育ちのキューピッドは悪魔という存在を知らないってわけか。
Wow. So Miss Cupid here has been so sheltered, so coddled. She doesn't even know about the mere existence of demons. Somehow it sounded like he was mocking himself more than me. He looked at me with anger in his eyes. A demon?
人間を堕落させる存在。神とは違う悪しきもの。
A being that exists to corrupt humans. Unlike your gods, they're completely evil. Allan took my hand, then put his arm around my waist. It was as if we were about to start dancing.
俺はインキュバス。君たち神とは似ても似つかない正反対の存在だよ。
I'm an incubus. I'm not like you or your gods. In fact, I'm the complete opposite. Incubus. Demon? I've heard the word demon before, mostly in movies. I kind of kicked the table. It's okay. Mostly in movies I've seen. Sometimes it was even part of the title, but I didn't really know what it actually meant. To be honest, it had never occurred to me to look into it.
やっぱりそうなんだ。本当に神たちは自分勝手だね。俺たちの存在を知ろうともしてない。
I can't say I'm surprised. Your gods are so self-absorbed, they refuse to even acknowledge our existence.
悪魔っていうのはね、人間を糧に生きる悪い存在なんだ。神が来やすく近づいてはならないんだよ。
A demon is an evil being that feeds off of humans. Even the gods underestimate us at their peril. In one smooth motion, he turned me in his arms and pushed me onto the bed again, like a bit of choreographed dance.
インキュバスっていうのはね、人間の夢を食って生きる悪魔なんだ。
An incubus is specifically a demon that feasts on the dreams of humans. Dreams? Allan glared at me with his glowing eyes.
そう。だから俺にとって人間なんてただの食い物の提供者だ。
He's got elf ears. Oh my god, guys. He's got elf ears. That's right. To me, these humans you seem to love so much are nothing more than food.
恋をしている女の夢が一番のごちそう。だから略奪をするのさ。
The dreams of a woman in love are the tastiest of all meals. That's why I steal.
神みたいに与える存在じゃない。奪って苦しめるもの。神や聖職者に裁かれるもの。
The gods consider themselves givers, but not me. I take. I torment. I'm despised by the gods and their disciples.
なあ。神の夢ってどんな味がするんだろうな。
You know, I can't help but wonder what might the dreams of a god taste like. Allan. It was clear I'd said something to make Allan angry, but I couldn't imagine what it might have been. I didn't know anything about demons, and didn't have the slightest clue what he was talking about at the moment. He takes instead of gives. That was meant to explain why he steals women. What does that mean? He feasts on dreams? Apparently, he noticed that my head was swirling with questions. He tapped me lightly on my chest. I noticed his fingernails were longer than before.
この状況でも逃げ出さないんだね。随分と俺たちは舐められているみたいだ。とても不服だよ。
Even in a situation like this, it doesn't even occur to you to run away, does it? Displeased.
箱入りキューピッドには経験してもらった方が分かりやすいかな。ほら、見せてやるよ。悪魔の
Bakemono.
力をさ。
Ooh, he calls himself a monster. He's a Bakemono. Perhaps I should just show you the powers of an incubus directly. Would it be even more effective of the god of love, I wonder? Suddenly, when wind began to whip around the two of us, the windows began to shake and shudder again. Allan's eyes were ferocious.
あんたが分からないなら分からせるまでだ。悪魔の恐ろしさをな。
Maybe you don't understand the true horrors of a demon just yet, but you will. I'll make sure of it. His burning eyes seemed to stare into me. At first, I thought they were filled with anger, but why did it feel like he was about to cry? I tried forming the question, but my lips wouldn't move. Then the world started to fade as if it's been drugged.
ほら、こっちへおいで。
Come then, come to me. Voice sweeter than honey called out to me. A warm hand caressed my bare skin. Before I realized it, my clothes had disappeared. Where am I? Who am I? I wanted to say so much, but my body was so light, so elusive, I was completely helpless. Little by little, he touched me, exploring my body.
へえ。君って夢の中では意外に大胆なんだね。
Wow, you're much bolder in your dreams than I would have imagined. What was I feeling? Did it tickle? I didn't recognize the sensation at all. I felt like I was losing my
気
mind.
持ちいい。それでいいんだ。
Does it feel good? I hope so. Did it feel good or did it just tickle? I had no idea. I was wrapped in a warm dream, a cocoon waiting to hatch. A voice escaped my lips.
俺に身を委ねて。もっと足の力を抜いて。
That's a lot. That was a lot more than I thought you would say, sir. Just relax and surrender yourself to me. I was eager to do as he said. Eventually, I accepted him.
いい子だ。動くよ。
Good girl. I felt full and I cried out, "What is this? Is this what happens between lovers?" But it wasn't anything like what I'd seen in my movies. It felt more mysterious, more magical. Is this a dream? I was so happy. My heart felt full and I felt like I was lost in a memory. Who are you? I reached out in desperation and clung to him. Stuck in a dream unlike any I'd ever experienced for the first time in my life. I felt completely satisfied. What's that like? Down to the very depths of my soul. Ah. Once I finished feasting, I made my way out of her dreams and let out a deep sigh.
なんだこの夢。すごく美味しかった。
What a dream. I've never tasted anything so sweet. Was it because she was a god? It was unlike any dream I ever devoured before.
君はどんな夢を見てる？
What did you
ど
dream
んな
about?
男と寝たんだ？
Who are you with? I put my hand on her sleeping cheek and muttered quietly to myself. Any an incubus comes to his target in her dreams, taking the form of her ideal man. But in that moment, I have no way of knowing who I or what I look like, who I am or what I look like. I was instinctively know what they want me to say. I whisper sweet words to them and embrace them according to their true desires. That's how an incubus like me feeds. The more pleasure I can provide, the better my feast will be. But binding her in a dream and coming to her as a stranger brings with it a tremendous sense of guilt. I can't believe a demon ate a god's dreams. I can't believe such an unworthy being as me would dare embrace her. Even in a dream, it shouldn't be allowed.
でも、本当にインキュバスがキューピッドの夢なんて食って平気だったのか？
Is it really okay for an incubus to consume the dreams of Cupid? I wonder if it might give me a stomachache later and if she would be okay.
何考えているんだ俺は。腹を壊すって人間じゃないんだか
What the hell am I
ら。長くこ
thinking?
っちにいると感覚が混ざるな。
I'm not some foolish human. I guess being here for too long can get your senses all mixed up. Mm. She slept so peacefully, she must have been having an especially nice dream.
まったく。いい寝顔だな。
You really are a good sleeper, huh?
この無警戒さは、パラサイトハウスから全く変わらずか。
You're just as unguarded now as you were during Parasite House. I laughed, but there was no genuine humor in it. Confronted by man or demon, she had absolutely no sense of self-preservation. She wasn't truly conscious of being a god, really, or of being a woman. What a troublesome Cupid.
だから、守りたくなる。本当なら俺なんかが近寄るべきじゃないって、わかってるのに。
That's why I want to protect you. I know we shouldn't be around each other, but at least now she would understand. She'd see just how much of a danger I was to her. She had Gil and Shelby, so many men who might be worthy of her. All I had to do was work behind the scenes and make her aware of them, just like I've been doing this entire time.
にしても起きないな。
Of course, it hasn't worked so far. Normally, my target would start waking up as soon as I left her dream, but there was no sign of waking this time.
店も閉めたいし。仕方ない。部屋に連れて行くか。
I need to close this door, so I guess I'll take her to my room for now. I locked the door, then took her in my arms and carried her upstairs to my bed. Incubus's job. I woke up feeling surprisingly refreshed. I couldn't remember the last time I'd slept so well, but it was more than that. That was the first dream I ever had. In Celestia, I didn't actually have to sleep, and even in the human realm, I never dreamed when I slept. So, for the very first time in my life, I had a dream. I sat up and stretched. It took me a second to realize I didn't recognize the room I was in. Where am I?
おはよう。ようやく起きたか。
Good morning, sleepyhead. Finally awake, I see. As he spoke, Allan seemed to materialize from out of nowhere. Seeing him brought back the memory of what happened last night. That's right, Allan is the reason I had that dream. A dream, a demon that devours dream, a dream brought to me by an incubus.
どう？インキュバスの力、わかった？
So, do you finally understand the power of an incubus? Yeah, it was amazing.
は？
Huh? Dreams truly are wonderful, aren't they? Thank you so much for showing me. Since I'm a goddess, I've never actually dreamed before. It was shocking just how incredible it felt.
インキュバスの見せる夢と一般的な夢は違うんだけど。
A dream from an incubus isn't exactly the same as a normal dream, you know. Really?
というか、俺としては危機感を持ってもらいたかったんだけど。
To be honest, I meant for you to feel afraid, to feel like you were in danger. He sighed sadly. Suddenly, Allan pushed me back down on the bed.
ところで、君の夢に出てきたのはどんな男だった？
So, who appeared in this dream of yours? Huh?
ギル？シェルビー？それともラウレやケイサイン君？それ以外の男？
Hey, Cyan, he said. He didn't say Rookie. I get it. You're just doing the first names for some of them. Was it Gil, Shelby, maybe Raul or Rookie, or was it someone else entirely? No, none of them. Actually, it was someone I've never seen before.
初めて見た人？変だな。今まで会った誰かしらになるはずなんだけど。
Someone you've never seen before. How strange. The whole point is it's supposed to be someone you know. He had kind of a gentle vibe. His hair was blonde. He had wings, I think. Allan started to tremble and his gaze turned cold. A sense of anger flickered in his eyes and his smile was tinged with misery.
へえ、そうなんだ。
I see. Huh? I felt his hand move and suddenly he was covering my eyes. Wait, who has blonde and has wings? Isn't that Peter? But wait, that doesn't make sense. Is it him? Is it just gonna be him? It's probably just him. He forced my hand onto my head, then pinned them where there with a single
そ
arm.
れは悪い夢だね。修正してあげないと。
That's a very bad dream indeed. I guess I'll just have to fix it. What? I felt something wet and hot crawling up and down my neck. It had to be Allan's tongue. What are
これ
you?
はギルの舌だ。いいね。君はギルを思い浮かべるんだ。
No, thank you. I don't want to imagine Gil at all. Shut up and think about Gil. Imagine his tongue. What? I wanted to say more, but I was struck speechless when I heard Gil's voice.
ねえ、俺のことどう思ってる？俺はさ、君がずっと好きだったんだよ。
I think you're
ルームシ
creepy,
ェアしてた時から。
and I don't
ず
like
っ
you.
と。
What do you really think of me? I've always had a thing for you, ever since we lived together. Seriously, Gil's voice. There was no mistaking it. I was alone here with Allan, and yet, still with his hand covering my eyes, I could almost imagine being there instead.
俺を見てよ。君にもラブクラフトって名前になってもらいたい。ね。俺のお嫁さんになってくれる？
No, thank you. I want you to look at me. I want you to become a Lovecraft. Will you be my wife? While whispering sweetly of love, he slowly runs his tongue down my neck and over my shoulders. Before I knew it, the hand I thought was holding my waist was suddenly touching my thigh. The movement of his fingers was driving me over the edge. Wait. I tried to shake him off, but he refused to let me
ま
go.
だない。好きだよ。大学の頃からずっと。
Doesn't work.
俺
Doesn't
だけの
work.
人になってほしいんだ。
Stop it.
君を一生守りたいんだよ。
I won't wait anymore. I love you. I always have. I want to be your one and only to protect you for the rest of your life. You might have had Gil's voice, but Gil wouldn't have acted anything like this. Are you sure? His hand slowly continued its journey upwards. No, that's enough. This isn't a dream, and you aren't Gil. I kicked my feet up as hard as I could. Finally, I regained my vision. I quickly sat up. Allan was doubled over in front of me, his hands on his crotch. Why did you do that? That's every guy's weak spot. It's not like that was my intention. I couldn't see anything, so I just kicked as hard as I could. You only have yourself to blame, you know. I'm a demon. It's my job to tempt people. But why'd you have to use Gil's voice? Of all people. I was just trying to be a Cupid in my own way. With a grin, Allan licks his lips. It sounded like he was trying to use some perverted version of matchmaking in order to devour another delicious dream. I won't let that slide. Cupid doesn't play awful tricks like that.
So?
Really, it all seems pretty similar to me. No, that's not. Interrupting me, Allan put a hand on my chin and raised my head up. I was frozen in place like a frog being hypnotized by a snake's cold stare. So now, do you understand just how terrifying us demons are? Demons are supposed to be scary. His eyebrow just raises. For one thing, I can mimic voices. Greater demons can even alter their appearance. Is my girl an upper demon? Just curious. I want to know what Clarice is. That's why it's so easy for us to fool people and feed on their dreams. Of course, some of us do much worse. You should consider yourself lucky. Not all incubuses are as nice as I am. You nice? How the heck are you nice? Are you an angel? Are you an angel? Is that what you are, Allan? Are you an angel? Is that why I had a dream of a boy with wings? Because you're an angel? That's flying hands. If a really bad demon got his hands on you, he wouldn't stop at just taking your dreams. Trust me, I'm an angel in comparison. Is that why there's a feather in your living room? Oh. If you ever run into another incubus or any other demon besides me, my advice to you would be to run the other way. Just because a dream feels good in the moment doesn't mean it's actually a good thing, understood? I blinked in confusion at how serious he became all of a sudden. That nasty, bewitching light that had consumed his eyes earlier was gone, and he looked at me with genuine concern. The hand that had been gripping my chin tightly was now gently caressing my cheek. Huh? The way he was touching my cheek, it felt like a sensation I'd experienced before. Of course, Allan had touched me in a teasing way a few times, but this wasn't like that. It was a gesture of sincere concern that I had a vague memory of. But when could something like this have happened? It felt like a long time ago. Who could have shown me such a gesture?
話聞いてる?
Hey, are you listening to me? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard you. Just watch out for really bad incubi, right?
そうだよ。 下手すりゃ魂を取られるからね。絶対に近寄っちゃダメだ。
That's right. If you're not careful, they'll take your soul. Don't ever go near them. My soul?
悪魔ってそういう存在なんだよ。
That's just what demons do, okay? I see. I had no idea. I made a mental note to maybe go to a library to do some research. There really that many incubi? When it comes to gods, there isn't more than one type of each, you know? I'm the only Cupid, and there's no other Venus or Mars or anything like that.
そりゃあね。吐いて捨てるほどいるさ。と言っても、神ほどの強い力を持った奴はそうそういないけどね。
There are plenty of incubi out there, of course. Most of them aren't nearly as powerful as a god.
とにかく、悪魔には近づくな。無警戒な姿を見せるのもダメだ。
Either
わかっ
way,
た？
just stay away from us demons. Never let your guard down, understand? Right, understood. For some reason, for someone who'd just done something so awful himself, he seemed pretty serious about the whole thing. I just nodded, seemingly satisfied. Allan gave me a gentle smile.
じゃ、朝ごはんにしよう。君が寝てる間に下ごしらえをしておいたんだ。
Anyways, why don't we have some breakfast? I made it for you while you were sleeping. He got up and headed to the kitchen. When he was gone, I looked at my phone. It was only 5 in the morning, but I had gone to bed early last night, so I still had slept for quite a while. Huh. I opened up my usual app and saw one comment that said, I had such an incredible dream. How can I ever go back to my real boyfriend when he was so much better in my dream? That must be the same woman who had her dream eaten by Allan. I quickly punched in dream as a keyword and a bunch of similar posts popped up. The dream was better than any real man. I've never felt anything like it. I think my boyfriend isn't enough anymore. All of the posts were like this. This includes this incubus, and his dreams were obviously causing problem in the real world. This is bad. If people are having dreams like that, reality will definitely stop mattering to them. I was sure about that because I'd experienced firsthand. As Cupid, I have to be aware of the dangerous power of the incubus.
お待たせ。
Thank you for waiting. Allan came back from the kitchen with breakfast, but there was only enough food for one person. Is this all for me?
そうだよ。俺は食事をしないからさ。
That's right, I don't actually eat. Huh?
インキュバスの食事は夢を食うことって言っただろ。俺は食事をしないんだ。
I told you an incubus feast on dreams, right? So I don't have to eat anything else.
時々怪しまれないように仕方なく食べて、それらしい感想を言うことはあるけど、黒タピオカ以外味を感じたことないかな。
Sometimes I have to order to avoid suspicion, but the only flavor I really am familiar with is tapioca. What? I suddenly remembered that had happened on our mock date. I recalled that part of our dinner was bubble tea, which has tapioca in it. At the time, I wondered why anyone would want just bubble tea for dinner. See, an incubus, Allan, doesn't need to eat the same thing as humans. When I was in Celestia, I never had to eat anything either, so gods and demons both can go without the human idea of food. Whew. Once I came down here, my body became completely human. But does tapioca even have that much of a flavor? It seems strange that of all human food, the only thing he could taste was tapioca. During college, Gil cooked all kinds of foods for me, so I feel like my taste buds are pretty in line with normal human ones. I think some places add sugar to the drink, but the main point is to enjoy the chewy texture.
いやいや、わかってないね。甘いだとか辛いだとかは感じたことがないから、 人間たちを観察しての想像でしかないけど。
No, you don't understand. Sweet, spicy, darling, whatever. I can't taste any of it. I have to assume based on human reaction.
黒タピオカをあえて表現するとしたら、間違いなく酸味だね。
The strongest reaction is always bubble tea. So if I had to describe the tapioca balls, they're definitely sour.
女たちがバブルティーのストローを加えながら頬をすぼめているだろう。あれはレモンみたいな酸味の強いものを食べている時と同じ顔だ。
When a girl sucks on the straw and their cheeks suck in, it's the same face people make with something sour like a lemon.
つまり、あの反応から察するに、黒タピオカは酸味のある食べ物ってことだろ
Every time I see a girl with bubble tea, she makes that face, so tapioca must be sour, right? Isn't that just the face you make when you suck on a straw? Or maybe like those bubble tea face exercises memes you see on Instagram sometimes?
あの酸味が夢を食った時と同じような旨味でさ。
That sour flavor tastes just like a dream.
だから黒タピオカは人間の食べ物の中で唯一美味しく感じるんだ。
Which is why tapioca is the only human food I actually enjoy.
と言っても、レモンには味を感じたことないのが不思議だけど。
Although it's kind of strange I don't get the same reaction with lemon flavored stuff. For some reason, Allan was convinced that tapioca was sour. His taste buds really are totally different from a human's. After all, tapioca definitely isn't sour, and you can't learn something's taste just based on someone else's reaction. But in that case, the taste of a dream must not be sour either. It is more sweet.
そんなわけで俺は食事を取らないんだ。だから遠慮はいらないよ。
Anyways, that's why I don't eat, so it's all yours.
俺は君の夢を食った後で満たされてるしね。どうぞ召し上がる。
I'm still full from that delicious dream of yours. Go ahead, dig in. Thank you. At his urging, I looked down at the meal in front of me. After everything he had just said, I had to work up the courage to start eating. I couldn't help but wonder what kind of food someone who thinks tapioca is sour would make. With a little hesitation, I take a bite of the rice. This is delicious. Despite his inability to actually taste anything, he was actually a good cook. You'd think those things wouldn't go together, but the meal was nothing but vegetables, and not that much of them either. I could tell it wouldn't be enough. So, Allan, do you only ever eat in order to avoid suspicion?
そう。インキュバスの生命維持のために人間の食事なんて役に立たないからね。
Human food has absolutely no benefit for a incubus.
さっきも言ったけど、人間のふりをする以上、必要な場面では仕方なく食べてみせるけど、意味のない行為なんだ。
I'll eat when I have to in order to seem more like a normal human, but ultimately it's a completely meaningless act.
栄養にもならないし、味もよくわからないし、なんなら太る要因になるだけだ。だから極力食べないようにしてる。
I don't gain any nutrients. I can't taste it, and if I do, it's too much. If I do too much, I'm sure I'll gain weight, so I avoid whenever I can. So you're really not human in any way at all.
言っただろ。インキュバスだって。
Like I said, I'm an incubus.
パラサイトハウスの間は本当の食事を抑えていたからさ。終わったあたりで飢餓感に襲われてね。
What? Oh my gosh, I just realized I left my cardigan. Oh man. Someday I'll get that cardigan back. Okay. I didn't eat any of my food the entire time at Parasite House, so by the end of it, I was completely starving.
それで積極的に食っていたら CC を退会させられた。それならよそで見つければいいんだけどさ。
So afterwards, I went a bit on a binge and got myself kicked out of Cupid Corpse because of it. So now I need to find a new source. That's right. You caused a whole bunch of member relationships to fall apart.
それは残念だったね。でもその程度の愛だったんだよ。
I'm sorry to hear that, but if that's all it took, there must not have been too much in their love. But that's not it at all. It's just your dreams are so intense.
そうなの?
Is that right? Yes, that's right. I know what I'm talking about. Recalling the dream I had last night, I could feel myself getting nervous all over again. That's just how amazing his dreams were. A dream that feels so good you never want it to end. A dream more satisfying than reality, specifically because it's not real. Yeah, I could totally understand how someone might neglect their real life love in favor of that kind of dream world. I decided that it was my duty to minimize the damage he caused from here on out. These options don't make sense. Serve him a meal? Like what kind of meal? Like I'm the meal? Talk to him and make him understand. I don't think talking to him has worked. We've been talking to him for weeks. Make him food. So listen up, Allan. From now on, you can only eat my dreams.
は? どういうこと?
What are you talking about? After a moment, a bewitching smile formed on his lips as if he had suddenly realized something.
ああ、そっか。昨夜の夢が良すぎて、君も現実が見たくなくなっちゃったんだね。
I see. You had such an incredible dream last night. You don't want to live in the reality anymore.
それなら素直にそうだと言えばいいのに。アワーハニーは照れ屋なのかな?
Why not tell me that directly? That's what you want. Is our darling really so shy? Sweet and spicy darling. It's all related to Allan. No. If you keep eating the dreams of women in love, people will stop falling in love altogether, and I can't do my job as Cupid. I'm the god of love. I can't let gods or demons or anyone go around destroying those connections. I can't expect you to stop eating entirely, and so instead I want you to only eat my dreams. That way I can protect everyone's love. Gave me a serious look and shook his head.
それはできないな。
I'm afraid I can't do that. Why not? Despite the desperation in my voice, he laughed and gave me a sly look.
恋をしている女の子の夢の方が美味しいんだ。
Because the dreams of a girl in love are far more delicious.
だから、そうだな。君が誰かに恋をしてくれたらいいよ。
So I hope
そ
you
うす
fall
れ
in
ばシェ
love.
アできるからね。
Then I'll be happy to share. What? That's the thieving parasite attitude again. Before I found out he was an incubus, I thought maybe he had gone through some kind of trauma. Two things can be true.
Allan Melville, 出てこい!
Hey, Allan Melville, get out here. Huh? I heard banging on the door from outside.
いるのは分かってるんだ。いいから早く出てこい!
I know you're in there. Get your miserable ass out here.
ああ、またか。
This again. Again? Don't tell me. I had flashbacks of a call I'd gotten from a man claiming his woman had been stolen from him. Did you seriously steal another girl?
人聞き悪いな。食事をしただけだよ。
How could you ever think that? We just had dinner. So you did. You stole away another woman in love.
でも俺の生態だ。文句を言われる筋合いはないね。
It's just in my nature, you know. You can't really complain about someone following their instincts. Allan just shrugged his shoulders and looked downstairs.
にしても、こんな早朝にわめいたら近所迷惑じゃないか。
Going around.
行ってくるから、君は朝ごはん食べてて。
Yelling this early in the morning is very impolite. I'll go take care of this. You just finish your breakfast. Waving a relaxed hand at me, Allan headed downstairs into the store. I quickly finished off the last of my breakfast and followed him down because I ain't skipping no meals. Okay, stop yelling. It's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah! Allan was immediately greeted with a powerful blow. Why did that say, yeah, like she did it? She didn't kick anybody. The man struck him with so much force, Allan went flying into the store counter. Melville, you thieving bastard. How dare you lay your filthy hands on my wife? The man's face was bright red, but Allan's expression was unchanged. Ah, you must be the neighbor from the apartment next door. But you're mistaken. I've never laid a finger on your wife. There's been no infidelity here. That bedpost looked very suspicious just for a second. That's bullshit. Ever since you invited her into your little bachelor pad, she doesn't want anything to do with me. I didn't invite her anywhere. I simply recommended her a pillow from my store. If she's rejecting you, you have nobody to blame but yourself. If her dreams are better than you must not be worthy. Don't play stupid with me. Another blow and Allan fell backwards again. Allan wasn't making any attempt to stop the man from hitting him. He just wiped blood from his split lip and looked at him in silence. His eyes were calm, empty. No matter how many times the man hit him, Allan would clearly never apologize for what he had done. The man seemed to sense this and took a nervous step back. I hope you learned your lesson. Yeah. The man fled from the store just as quickly as he had arrived. He slammed the door angrily behind him, and I flinched back nervously. That was so scary. Are you okay? Allan looked just the same as ever, calm and collected with a placid smile on his face. That kind of thing happens to me all the time, but I appreciate your concern, our darling. It happens all the time. My first impulse was to yell at him, but the fact is I was worried about his cut lip and swelling face. I'm sure he could have avoided those punches if he really wanted to. Allan was way taller and probably a lot stronger than the guy who just came here. And yet, he just stood there and let it happen. Probably because he knew he would make the guy feel better. I guess that's how you have to get by when you're a demon. Still, I was sure he was in pain. Let me see where he hit you. Where's your first aid kit?
Huh?
Huh? It's over there on the shelf. Good. Now sit down and let me patch you up. I grabbed the first aid kit and started to take care of him. This cut is really deep. Are you sure you're okay?
まあ。
Yeah. I mean, I guess. He looked confused and a little troubled. I'm sure he wasn't expecting to get this kind of special attention. Is he gonna heal? Like, he's a demon, right? You're suffering from I'm a human-itis, but he's a demon.
君は怒ってるんだと思ってたけど。
I thought you were mad at me. I am, but that has nothing to do with this. I can't just ignore someone in pain. As I continued to work on him without hesitation, Allan frowned at me.
ちょっと乱暴じゃない？
Ow! Hey, you're being a little rough, don't you think? You deserve the beating you got, so just deal with it. Now hold still.
殴られるようなことね。俺はただいい夢を見させてるだけなのにな。
I deserved it, but I was just trying to give her a good night's sleep. These dreams of yours are better than reality, you know? Can't you ease off a little bit?
君は美味しい料理の作り方を知っているのに手加減してわざとまずく作ったりする？
If you were able to make incredible food, would you go out of your way to make something bad? I would if my food was bad for the rest of the world. His total lack of remorse made me mad at him all over again. I applied the cut ointment without mercy, then checked his back and hips for bruises where he had been hit on the counter. I'm sure you don't want more guys coming in here with scores to settle, do you?
まあ、恨まれないに越したことはないけど。でも仕方ないと割り切ってはいるよ。
Obviously, I prefer that, but at this point, I've learned to live with it.
悪魔の奴らには俺よりずっとひどいことをしてるのもいる。まだこれでも善良な方だよ。
I know demons that have done way worse things than me. Relatively speaking, I'm one of the good ones. A good one, huh? After all the women you've stolen? I just don't understand it.
そりゃ、君は理解しなくていい世界で生きてるからね。
That's because in the world you live in, you don't have to understand. His tone had suddenly turned cold and he stood up before I was finished. Hey, wait, I'm not finished.
十分だよ。普段は手当てすらしないから。
You've done enough. Usually I don't need any kind of treatment at all. Huh?
言ったでしょ。俺は悪魔なんだ。怪我だって人よりずっと治りがいい。
I'm a demon, remember? Whatever injuries I get heal far faster than any humans.
だから、手当てなんてしなくていい。こんな俺なんかにさ。
So you really don't have to be doing any of this. I don't need it. With a bitter tone and a look of self-loathing, Allan walked away. He doesn't need it. Allan, an incubus, he always has some justification for what he does. But could it be that he really doesn't want to do this? He was putting back the chairs and other items that he scattered when he got knocked around. He was facing away from me, so I had no idea what look he might have on his face. Even so, I had an distinct sense of loneliness. I kind of regretted placing so much blame on him. However, you're leaving?
はい、ごめんなさい。なんだか急に婚活とかどうでもよくなっちゃって。
Yes, I'm very sorry, but all of a sudden, I just don't care about marriage anymore. I just had the epiphany that I forgot to get the okay ending for Ruki's Route. Oh well, next time we'll do it. We'll do it then. If you don't mind, may I ask why?
やっぱ婚活よりも枕かなって思って。
I decided it'd be better to get a pillow to keep me company instead of continuing to look for a partner. A pillow. Could it be?
知ってます？9番街のラグジュアリーピローで買った枕で寝ると最高の夢が見られるんです。
I just got so relaxed and the controller just hit that button and almost did all skip. I almost cried. Actually, I think my all skip's set to red only, so it couldn't even. I think we're fine. Red, please, just in case. It doesn't autosave. I've learned this too. It does that on everything. Sometimes too, if you've played an Atomi game, it's also the same with other games too. After you start the game, instead of it going to start, it usually drops down to load every time you start it. This one does not. I have had it where it's gone to load, but usually it goes up to start again. And so out of habit, I'll hit A, and then it'll be like, what name do you want your character to be? And I'd be like, what? Hurts my feelings. There's a store on 9th Avenue called Pillow Luxuria. If you get a pillow from there, you'll have the most amazing dreams. I knew it.
夢っていいですよね。裏切らないし、最高の状態を見せてくれるし。
Dreams are so wonderful, they never betray you, and they always show you at your very best.
それに比べて現実は、お見合いパーティー10連敗ですし。
Compared to that, reality is just, I mean, my last dozen blind dates have been complete failures. Sorry, I guess I wasn't much help then.
いや、いいです。アドバイザーさんは頑張ってくれてましたから。所詮現実なんてこんなもんなんですよ。
She replies, alright. No, it's fine. I know you did your best. After all, this is the reality we live in, right? This is the reality you wanted, right? Right? Anyways, that's a deeper quote.
そう、こんな世の中よりも夢ですよ、夢。
But in the end of the day, I'd rather trade in my reality for a lovely dream.
なので私はこれから夢に行きます。ということで、
So that-
今日付けで大会処分よろしくお願いします。
It's what I'm going to do now. From now on, thank you for everything you've done, but I'm canceling my membership episode today. How many people are going to cancel? This happened not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. Sitting there by myself, I dropped my head in my hands. And one day, we had lost 3 members, all women. Their reason was that dreams are better, and they'd all bought pillows from Pillow Luxuria, of course. What am I gonna do? They all bought pillows from the same place, so there could only be one reason behind all of this. A demon that feeds on the dreams of his female victims, an incubus. There was no doubt that it was all Allan. What is an incubus really? Do they really have no choice but to feast on dreams to survive? I was curious, so I did a quick search on my phone. Everything I found pretty much said the same thing. An incubus is a specific type of creature, a demon, that feeds on dreams. If that's the best the internet has to offer, I'll have to do some more research on my own. Luckily, I had a following day off. I decided to head to the university library and look for more specialized literature. That's right, Lost York University also has a professor of mythology. Maybe I'll get in touch and set up an appointment. When I was in school, I took mythology class. My old resume should have had his contact information on it. I decided to send him an email as soon as I got home. With that settled, I focused on finishing the rest of my task for that day with hopes of helping my remaining members get married. He's so cute! Now then, that evening I was searching for my next meal. I was looking down on humanity from atop a tall building, scouring the city for a woman in love to deliver a dream to.
恋をしている顔。あの女とかいいかもしれないな。
A woman in love, and she might be a good fit. I spotted a woman sitting alone outside a cafe drinking a cup of coffee. I'm sure she must be in love. Her dream would probably be sour and a little spicy, but a rich aftertaste.
早くあの子にもあの顔つきになってもらいたいんだけど。
I hope she can become that soon too. Leah, she just completely refuses to fall in love. I wanted her to fall in love as soon as possible, but no matter what I did, there was no sign of that happening. As soon as I thought of her, I suddenly lost my appetite and started to sigh.
食事よりも先にあの問題をなんとかしないとな。
I need to take care of this problem before I feast. I have so many questions. Like, why are your arms purple? Like, is that like a shadow? Are you wearing gloves? I decided I'd let the other Parasite 5 take up falling in love with her and seducing her.
けどあいつら奥手だし、恋に興味ないやつもいるし、全然動かないんだよな。
But they aren't very good at it. And some of them aren't interested in love in the first place. While we were on Parasite House, I was constantly working behind the scenes to get them to fall in love with her. For example, I worked together with that workshop instructor behind the scenes to have her go on those mock dates. And I planted the idea of that ad agency guy to take pictures that would make her look like she was Shelby's wife. I even snuck into the Lost York TV studio to try and get the Parasite House project off the ground. And of course, I did everything I could to make sure no female members would move into the house. I lived in the house, went on dates that I had to, and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. Nobody made any moves. Nothing happened to make her care about any of the other guys at all.
普通男と一つ屋根の下で暮らせば誰かしらといい雰囲気になるはずだろう。
Normally, when you live together with a bunch of guys, you're bound to click with someone, right? But my plan was a total failure. She was a much tougher nut to crack than I expected. I wanted her to hurry up and fall in love so she could get rid of that damn beau of hers.
この間ギルのふりをしても全くの脈なしだったから、次はシェルビーを焚きつけてみるか。
I didn't get the reaction I was hoping for when I pretended to be Gil, so maybe next time I'll try Shelby. I couldn't sneak into her office and make it so that he'll have to take notice of her. And once the seed is planted, I could ask one of the succubus friends to make him dream about her. Incubi, succubi, demons that can take on the form of whoever the dreamer truly desires. Us demons can make matches by pretending to be their object of desire in a dream and make them fall in love.
本当は俺ができればいいんだけどな。
To be honest, I wish I could handle all of this myself. I'm a sucker for long hair. And horns. It's like horns. But an incubus simply isn't able to enter a man's dreams. It was frustrating, but I had to rely on my fellow succubi.
とにかくシェルビーに恋をさせよう。食事はそれからだ。
Anyways, I just need to find a way to make Shelby fall in love with her, then I'll have my meal. He had wings. He had wings. He had wings. He had a wing. He had a wing. First, I would just arrange his schedule so that he'd have to meet with Leah. If I could make them think, I've been seeing a lot of them lately, that could definitely lead to victory. So I snuck into Mr. President's office, but there was absolutely no room in his schedule. He was a workaholic and slept only 4 hours every day. I had to give up on that plan. Pivoting the next day. After setting up an appointment, I had to come to see Professor Giordano, who was teaching the mythology class. So actually, I was hoping to talk to you about incubi.
インキュバスについてか。サキュバスはいいのかね。
You're interested in incubi specifically, not succubi. Succubi.
女の夢を食べるのがインキュバス。男の夢を食べるのがサキュバスだ。どちらも陰魔と呼ばれる悪魔だな。
An incubi eats a woman's dreams, while a succubus eats the dreams of men. Both are demons, of course. Really? So an incubus can only eat a woman's dreams?
ああ、そのはずだ。
That's right. That must be why all those female members quit. Well, for now, could you tell me more about incubi?
と言っても、インキュバスもサキュバスも性別ぐらいしか差はないがな。
Of course, to be honest, the only real difference between an incubus and a succubus is their gender, and I
ど
didn't
ちら
know
も
that until...
人間の夢の中に現れて快楽を与えて夢を食べる悪魔だ。そしてどちらも理想の異性の姿をとる。
They both bring humans pleasure in order to feed on their dreams, and both appear as the person's ideal partner. Idealized.
ああ、その方がより多くの快楽を夢の中で与えられるからだろうな。
In order to bring them an even more pleasurable dream, you see.
だから姿形の記述は残っていない。人によって見え方が違うからだ。
That's why there's no description for their appearance, because they appear differently to everyone. If an incubus were to eat your dreams, would it affect reality in any way?
それは伝承によるな。ただ夢を食われるだけという場合もあるし、実害が伴う場合もある。
It depends on the lore behind being referred to. Sometimes it's just a dream eater, but sometimes there's real harm involved. Real harm.
基本的にインキュバスは人間を堕落の道へ引き込む悪魔だ。人が会員を好むように仕向けていると考えることもできる。
An incubus is a demon that leads humans down a path of depravity. Essentially, they love the art of seduction.
実際の肉体に変化を及ぼす陰魔もいると、いくつかの文献には残っているな。
Some
寝てい
texts
る間にこうはらませられたとかな。
say they can actually change a human's body. Some have even been known to impregnate their victims in their sleep. What?
だが、これもまた不義密通をごまかすために作られたエピソードだろう。根拠は乏しい。
It's probably just another story designed to cover up adultery. Not much evidence, to be honest.
そもそもインキュバスの伝承ができたのも、禁欲主義の盛んだった時代に、無性の理由付けに考えられたものだという説もある。
Others claim, I'm going to say this word wrong in a second, get ready. Others texts claim that the lore was invented to cover up cases of nocturnal emissions in the days of asceticism.
実際に悪魔はいるのかいないのか、そこも含めて議論することが望ましいだろうな。
Do demons actually exist or not? I think that's certainly worth discussing as well. There really are demons, though. After I left Professor Giordano, I was alone in the courtyard thinking about what I had just heard. An incubus appears in the form of the ideal person. That's my ideal. It didn't hit me at all. Seeing him didn't make me feel nervous or dreamy. What I did was definitely amazing, but he was not really my type. The professor said I should consider the reason for the lore's origins against the original historical background. After I parted with Professor, I went to the library to borrow some books. I'm going to read every book I can find on demons. However, I took a quick look at the book and just checked out, but nothing was satisfying. Azazel, Moloch, Mephistopheles, nope, that's not right. Mephistopheles Fuzzylupagus, Cookie Monster, all the demons are depicted in their forms with a frightening appearance. I've never seen anything like it. It looks a little bit like a manticore, but we have those like Celestia. Incubus is a demon, but Allan is very different from the demon depicted here. I flipped through the pages and read the stories of what demons have done. The story of a man who made a pact with a demon is resurrected from the dead. The story of a man who tried to become a billionaire. All of these chapters are quite disturbing. One spoke of a demon that awaited you at the gates of Elysium, then stole your soul. So this is a demon different from a god, an evil being.
悪魔はさ、俺みたいな善良なインキュバ。悪いや。
Bad incubi flashback. A good incubus. But from a Cupid point of view, any incubus that gets in the way of love is bad.
悪魔？面白い本読んでるね。
Demons? You're reading an interesting book. Huh. I looked up and Raoul was there. Why are you here?
今日は神話討論会で来てたんだ。ちょうど悪魔と神の類似点について討論してたから、興味があるんなら君も誘えばよかったな。
We were just discussing the similarities between demons and gods, so if you're interested, I should have invited you. Mythology, debates, and demon talks. Demons are supposed to be different from gods, so why do we talk about them in mythological debates? Are demons like gods? As I tilted my head, Raoul snatched the book I was holding and started reading it.
俺はそう思ってるよ。例えばインキュバスとよく似た神もいるしね。バクって言うんだけど、夢を食べて病魔や悪運を払う神様なんだよ。
I think so. There's a god similar to the incubus. It's called Baku, and it eats dreams to ward off sickness and bad luck.
他にも神と悪魔で似通った記述は結構多いんだ。地獄の王サタン、ルシファーなんて元天使だし、だから悪魔もまた神と言っていいんじゃないかな。
I was waiting for him to say Lucifer like that. There are other similarities between gods and demons, such as Satan, the king of hell, and Lucifer, a former angel.
まあ、俺が思うサタンは絶対に元天使じゃないけどね。思い出しただけでおぞましい。
I'm pretty sure Satan is not an ex-angel. It's horrible just thinking about it. Raoul returns the book to me and walks away. What Raoul thinks of as Satan is probably a raw oyster. He was shivering and shaking from the memory of that raw oyster. I looked down at the open page of the book. Incubus, a demon that eats dreams. But according to Raoul, there's also a god that eats dreams. And he also said that Satan was formerly an angel, right? I checked out the section for Satan, Lucifer. It was written that an angel who thought he was worthy of being God rebelled and incurred God's wrath. He was cast down to hell. I didn't know there were angels like that. Angels were the ones in heaven, right? Is she in love with Lucifer? I don't think so. I don't think they'd go that far, but like a blonde, you say? And he had wings, and he fell from grace. And he kind of sounded like Allan. Would Allan even know? Below Celestia, where the gods dwelled, lies heaven, home of the angels. I've never been there since only the 12 Olympians can go to heaven. But there are demons who were angels, and some demons have the same powers as gods. Perhaps the gods do things. Oh gosh. Perhaps the gods that do good things are called gods, and gods that commit evil are called demons. Heck, Dad could be called a demon. Mars, the god of war, Dad stories aren't necessarily always good for humans. Demons. As I flipped through the pages, my eyes caught a demon called Fulfur. A matchmaking demon. The book said that it was a demon that caused love between men and women. They basically lie, but if you summon them into a magic circle, they will tell you the truth. So some demons do good things? I'm getting more and more confused. I took another look at the pile of books that I'd borrowed. There was one book mixed in that had nothing to do with demons. It's a book of mythology. I must have borrowed it by mistake. The book was called Greek Myths Love Episodes. I was so curious I had to read it. It was about Dad and Mom's love story, Jupiter's love story, and Cupid's love story. Cupid's love story. It said that Cupid accidentally wounded his own finger with an arrow and fell in love with Pisces is not right. A human being. Of course, I don't remember such an episode. So weird. Cupid would never hurt her own finger with an arrow. I would never screw up like that, and I don't even know who Psyche is. It must be a story that humans made up on their own. Otherwise, there's no explanation. I closed the book and left the university. Could be like the Avatar, where there's just the one Avatar, so the 79 different cubes are all her. A few days later, I caught a glimpse of the daily lives of the Parasite 5 and sighed deeply. What's going on with them? The likelihood of any of them falling in love with Leah was significantly low, except for Gil. Raoul Aconite, for one reason or another, found himself unsuitable for serious love. Rookie F. Kai Cyan was no longer aware of her existence, perhaps because his work was no longer relevant with her.
そしてシェルビーは婚活を断念。仕事に生きると言っていたな。
And Shelby said he would give up marriage. He said he would live for work. I remember being horrified at the sight of Shelby working like a madman.
オーウェンは別の女の子に恋してたみたいだし。
I think Owen was in love with another girl. It was the only hope. The best thing to do is somehow try and get him closer to her.
でもギルはギルで彼女にふさわしい男になるまでは会わないなんて言ってたしな。
Gil said he wouldn't see her until he was worthy of her. It's true that if Gil were to confess his feelings to her now, he would be shattered. The problem was on her end.
せめて夢の中の俺がギルの姿になれればな。
Only I could look like Gil in her dreams. That way I could seduce her to my heart's content. Who she saw in her dreams was not Gil, Shelby, Rookie, or Raoul. I believe she said he was a blonde guy.
他に彼女と親しい男はいないのか?
Is there any other men she's close to? Thinking of the people around her, I shake my head. Her coworkers, her neighbors, she didn't seem to be aware of them at all. So far, the only guys she had talked to at length were the 4 guys from Parasite 5. As Cupid, she can't abandon the Parasite 5 and must be concerned about them. But it's not love, it's just work.
あの子、仕事人間だもんな。
She's a workaholic. Aren't we all? She's no office romance. If no office romance occurs, her female colleagues even look at her with kind of in awe. By human standards, she could be considered a tryhard who is obsessed with promotion. So she's not a love. Oh my god. So she is not a love interest at all, making Gil the only choice. Next time I see her, I'll try to talk her to her and steer her attention towards Gil.
頼むよギル、君にかかっているんだ。
Please, Gil, it's on you. If I fail now, there is nothing else that can be done. That's how few options she has in terms of love interest. Well, you could meet her a new guy. A few days later, staff members from the advisors section were drinking coffee together.
最近現実がどうでもいいからなんて理由で会員様辞めすぎじゃない？
So many people have been quitting saying reality doesn't matter. Your members too?
こういうの今までもあったわ。理由はドラマの登場人物の方がずっと素敵だからなんてものだったけど。
I had this happen before. The reason was characters in dramas are better.
俳優マニアってやつね。でも今回のは妙よ。みんな夢がいいって言うんだもの。
It's called actor mania, but this one's weird. Everyone says they prefer men.
現実よりもいい夢。ねえ。私だって見てみたいわ。そんないい夢ならね。
Is dream better than reality? I'd like to have a dream like that too, if it's that good.
夢ね。なんかの隠語なのかしら。クラブとかドラッグとか？
Dream, huh? I wonder if it's some sort of secret word, like for a club or drugs. Isn't it just simply dreams you have when you sleep?
まさか。本物の夢の方が現実よりいいなんて人間普通はいないわよ。魔法じゃないんだし。
It's not normal for people to think that dreams are better than reality. It's not magic.
だから気になるのよね。
I'm
一体
curious.
何なのかしら。現実よりもいい
A
夢って。
dream better than reality? That's why more and more female members are quitting. Gee, what should we do? Come, pizza.
Gee?
Chi, do you know of demons called incubi?
Gee?
Chi tilted his head and looked up. That moment, the door opened.
じゃあ私出かけてくるから。おやす
I'm
み。
going out. Good night. Another night out? Without replying, Clarice put her finger to her lips and winked. Shh. She then left the room and waved her hand in the air. A few moments later, I heard the front door close. Come on. Clarice is like this almost every day. She seems to be going out with a lot of different men. Clarice doesn't fall in love, and her members say they prefer dreams. Cupid needs to work hard. Cupid's the god of love. I have a weapon that even the gods fear. I'm not afraid of demons. I'm a god, and I have to fight an incubus, a demon. I must, in order to prevent this bizarre phenomenon from ruining Cupid Corp's reputations. Humans don't believe in either god or demon. But it's the duty of gods to protect humans. Human hands make human bonds. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with the goal, I can use my arrow, right? I'm worried that the jamming method that my aunt uses might wear off, but I can sneak back to Celestia to have it fixed again. I took my finger off my necklace and instead grabbed Chi.
Chi?
Then, as usual, I used Chi as massager. Is that a good sentence? Cupid in love. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful princess named Psyche. Her beauty reached even the gods of heaven, making Venus, the god of beauty, jealous. Venus, out of jealousy, plotted to make Psyche fall in love with an ugly human.
キューピッド、あの醜い豚使いにプシケが恋するように金の矢を打ってちょうだい。
Did we do this last time? Did I Google how to pronounce this correctly? Because Pushe. Here's the thing, you can't put PSY and not make me say Psy. It's just how I go. It's like, my name's Psycho. What do you want from me? Heck. The only letter difference between this and Psycho is the E is an O. Try to Google this. I'm gonna Google it just to make sure we have the pronunciation down. It's loading so slow. Still loading. We'll wait, I guess. Cupid, shoot!
Psyche.
Nope, that's Psyche. That's not right. It says Psyche. It says Psyche. Am I wrong? It even says like pronunciation, like a shortened form is Psy. It says Psyche. Okay. Go with Psyche. Okay. Shoot Psyche with the golden arrow so that she will fall in love with that ugly man. Yes, ma'am. Cupid, obedient to his mother, heeds her wishes and approaches Psyche with the arrow. And just as he's about to shoot his arrow, Cupid accidentally wounds his own finger with a golden arrow. Thus began the love affair between Psyche, a human, and Cupid, a god. Why do I look so... That's her slamming the book shut. Did I break the game? The next day after work, I went to Pillow Luxury by myself. That's why our company is in so much trouble. Allan, please don't eat. Please eat in moderation.
すごい顔で来たと思ったらまたその話か。
Just when I thought you came in with such an amazing expression, start with the complaints again. It's because you are causing so much trouble. You've been eating too much lately, haven't you? You'll get fat.
夢はいくら食べても太らないから平気さ。
No matter how many dreams I eat, I'll never get fat. But when a woman has her dreams eaten, she doesn't care about reality anymore.
よほど俺の夢はテクニシャンみたいだね。
Sounds like my dreams are too good. It's what you do in your dreams.
でも普通は 恋する相手と夢の中で交わったら、現実の恋の相手をますます好きになるんじゃないの？
Don't you usually fall more in love with your love after you've met the one in your dreams? If it's in moderation, but your dreams are too intense, there's a big gap between a real life partner and fantasy. Man in the dream is great, but the man in reality is dull. That is why they're losing interest.
へえ、なるほど。さすが上級悪魔の俺だ。現実よりも魅力的になっちゃうんだね。
I see. I'm amazed by my own work as a high-ranked demon. I guess dreams are becoming more attractive than reality. I was annoyed by the smug look. There was a part of me that, even though I was being complimented on how attractive I was, there's no compliment. I feel like this is meant. I feel like I was annoyed by the smug look. And I think the second part is supposed to be Alan's internal monologue. Why do we have... I'm so confused. Don't I need any more dreams? When I glared at him as hard as I could, Alan smiled vaguely and rested his cheek on the palm of his cheek on his palm with his elbow on the counter. Okay, like this. Okay, got it.
でも、夢を食べないと俺だって生きていけないんだ。最低でも一日一つは食べさせてもらえないと餓死しちゃうだろ？
I can't live without dreams. I have to have at least one meal a day. I'll starve to death, you know.
恋の女神キューピッド様は俺の命よりも恋心の方が大事？
The goddess of love, Cupid, cares more about love than my life.
生きていれば恋はまた何度でもできる。でも俺は餓死すればそれまで。君とももう二度と会えなくなっちゃうんだ。
If you live, you can fall in love all over again. But if I starve to death, that's it, and I'll never see you again. Couldn't say anything when he said it in that way. It's true. I don't want to starve him to death either. But I can't let him go. He has ruined too many relationships.
俺は何百年もずっとこうして生きてきたんだ。今さら変えられる生き方じゃないよ。
I've been living this way for hundreds of years. I can't change it. What, hundreds? How old are you?
さあね。君と同い年ぐらいじゃないかな。
Who knows? Maybe about your age? I don't know my age.
へえ。深海は時間の流れが感じられないんだっけ？
You don't feel the flow of time in Celestia. That's right. That's right. Anyways, enough of that. So what if she's not as old as she thinks she is? I almost got off course. Alan, don't just go after women in love. You're interfering with our business.
でも俺言ったでしょ？君が恋をしてくれたら他の女の夢は食べないってさ。
I told you, didn't I? I wouldn't eat another woman's dreams if you fell in love. Why does it have to be like that?
それが平和的な解決方法じゃないか。どう？最近気になる男とかいないの？
I think that's a peaceful solution. What do you think? Do you have a person you're interested in lately? I don't because I'm Cupid. It's weird for a god of love to be in love, isn't it?
俺はいいと思うけどね。ギルは？ずっと一緒に暮らしてたんでしょ？再会して気になったりはしないの？
I think it's fine. What about Gil? You have lived with him for a long time. Doesn't he interest you? It's heartbroken for Clarice because, besides, I can't think of Gil as a man.
男とは思えないね。かわいそうに。
Poor thing.
じゃあシェルビーは？
Shelby? Mr. Snell? What are you talking about? He's married.
そういやそういうことになっていたね。
I forgot. What about
じゃあラ
Raoul?
ウルは？
Mr. Aconite is an actor. I don't want to get close or it'd become a scandal. Also, he's a mythomaniac. I couldn't be near him.
じゃあケイサイン君は
What about Kei-Cyan? He's the glamour parasite. I passed him the other day and he didn't even recognize me.
へえ、気づいてたんだ。じゃあそうだな。ピーター・フラージュは
I did notice that. Well, then how about Peter Flag? Peter? From Lost Shark TV? I don't have any contacts, and we're not even friends.
なるほど。了解。君が周囲の男に全く興味なしってのがよくわかったよ。
I see. Okay, I understand that you're not interested in the men around you at all.
じゃあ俺はやっぱり君の会社の会員たちの夢を食って生きていくしかないようだ。
I guess I'll just have to live off the dreams of your company's members. Then why do you have to target our customers? I mean, stop targeting only women in love.
でもそれが美味しいんだ。仕方ないだろ
Because it's delicious. Can't help it, you know? Love is not a spice to make a dish better. It's a unique and precious emotion. Can't you see that?
わからないね。悪魔は恋をしないんだ。
I don't. Demons don't fall in love.
だいたい恋なんて一時の感情、気の迷いだ。
Love?
したいだなんて思うわけが。
It's just a temporary feeling. There's no way I'd ever want to. Fine. I know who you think now. I know how you think now. I interrupted his words and glared at him. So unfortunately, he can't understand through words. She's gonna explain with her body? I guess I'll have to make you experience it. I summoned my divine artifact from my pendant and pointed my arrow at Allan. You're about to find out how important love is. Prepare yourself. Allan paled at the sight of the glow arrow, and for the first time he had a panicked expression.
それはやめてくれ。悪魔がキューピッドの矢にいられたら消滅する。
Don't do that. If a demon is shot by Cupid's bow, it'll disappear. What? I tried to stop it, but it was too late. Allan's expression was filled with fear as the arrow was released. God's power is a deadly poison to demons. This is not good. I don't want to kill people. It's not a person. It's a demon. No, don't get it. In a panic, I reached for the arrow and then I managed to grab the arrow just before I pierced Allan. It was at that moment. My heart beat faster. The blood in my whole body became hot as if it was boiling. I looked at my hand and saw I had grabbed the arrowhead of Cupid's arrow, the arrow that would make me fall in love. As soon as I took my hand off the arrow, Cupid's bow returned to my necklace. But this rising feeling in my heart won't go away. It won't. I'm not stupid enough to not know why this is happening.
大丈夫
Are you okay? So I won't lie, I thought he was saying the Cupid's bow would disappear. That's fair. If a demon is shot by the Cupid bow, it will disappear. Could imply the Cupid's bow, which is what my brain went with, or the demon. Are you okay? Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen a sticker with like a glitter top coat. But that's what I'm seeing right now. I looked up and saw Allan sparkling and shining. Maybe it was my eyes, but it caused everything to look shiny because I hurt my hand with my Cupid arrow. I will fall in love with the person in front of me. I love...
Eh?
Huh? Oh no, I think I'm in love with you. Couldn't take it anymore, so I clung to Allan's chest.
どういう
Look at this glitter filter. What? Because you said demons would die when wounded with the Cupid arrow. I tried to stop it, but looks like I was hit.
キューピッドがキューピッドの矢で射られたの。だから俺に恋をしたってこと？
Cupid got shot with Cupid's arrow, so that means you're in love with me. Yes. I looked up and saw what I thought was the coolest face in the world. I'm totally in love. I know it's the power of Cupid's arrow. I can't stay calm and I can't erase my love. So that's what it feels like to fall in love. The first emotion I'd ever known. My heart ached. I felt kind of embarrassed and I was happiest I'd ever been. Normally this is to bring people meant to be together. That's a romantic and wonderful thing. I thought of that, what to do, but perhaps this isn't so bad. Cupid who experienced love is much better than a Cupid who hasn't.
その顔、本気で俺のことが好きになったみたいだね。
You look like you really like me now. Allan grabs my chin and stares at me. Even his mean smile looks cool to me, and I was stunned to see it. It's like I'm blinded by the bright sunshine. How many have we done so far? Feels like 3? Okay. I'm gonna try to get to the end of this chapter, and then I'll probably take a not break, but I'm gonna stop. It's not that I feel sleepy, it's like my feet feel swollen, and it's probably because I've been on my feet at work all day. And then I'm sitting in a chair with like my legs having the circulation off, so I'm gonna get to the end of this chapter and then we're gonna call it. Alright, it's like I'm blinded by the bright sunshine.
じゃあ、君の夢は美味しくなってる？
So are your dreams better? Let me try. In the store, there's a bed for fitting. I was pushed down on it and my breathing became harder. Ooh, what a weird option. Got let yourself go or hug him. Let's hug him. Allan, oh, well, it's too late now. Allan laid on me and his eyes stared at me. His true nature as an incubus was revealed and his demon tail wagged. I can't resist the urge to hug him as he approaches and I reach out to him. However, my hand was avoided by him and wandered halfway through the air.
俺はインキュバスだよ。現実よりもいい夢を見せるのが得意なんだ。君は何も考えずに体を委ねて。
I'm an incubus, remember? I'm better at making dreams come true than reality. You don't have to think about it, just let yourself go. He smiles with his teeth showing, and even that seductive look is cool. Yes, Allan. I responded obediently and let my consciousness go. Gotta redo that. Allan laid on me and his eyes stared at me. His true nature as an incubus was revealed and his demon tail wagged. Even that's cool. Feast on me, Allan.
今夜の食事は随分と献身的みたいだね。
It's like tonight's meal's quite devoted.
お望み通り、ちゃんと美味しく食い尽くしてあげるよ。
I'll make sure you're devoured just as you wish. I reach for him and then I let go of my consciousness. Oh dear. After feasting on her dream, I ran out of the store upset.
なんだ
What was that
さっきの夢は
dream? I leaned my body against the store window and looked up at the sky in dismay. It was the most delicious dream I've ever had. The acidity is perfect, mellow, and rich. What a dream. It was so delicious that I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to eat it again.
でも変だな。今まで俺に恋をした女の夢はこんなに美味しくなかったんだけど。
That's weird. I've never had such a delicious dream from a woman falling in love with me before. Dreams from people who loved the dream eater weren't as tasty as dreams from people who loved others. That was common incubus knowledge.
キューピッドだから神の見る夢だからなのか。
Is it because it's Cupid's dream? Or maybe because she's a goddess? Goddesses are so beautiful and precious that they are incomparable to me, a demon. I stared at her through the glass window as she slept. I always thought she was unapproachable because I'm a dirty demon. So I've been trying to make her fall in love with someone else with some help. To make Cupid fall in love, that was my mission.
それなのに俺に恋をするなんてな。
Yet you're in love with me now. I wanted her to fall in love with someone other than me, if possible. Not me, but a human man.
でもこれで目的は達成したってことか。彼女に恋を知ってもらえたんだから。
But does that mean I've achieved my goal? I got her to know what love is. All that's left is that problem, right? This was all according to plan, except I didn't expect her to find love using Cupid's bow. Is this the right thing to do? The hesitation didn't go away. I woke up, and before I knew it, it was morning. My eyelids fluttered open, and I was suddenly very elated when I awoke. It was because Allan was lying down on the same bed.
おはよう。よく眠れた？
Good morning. Did you sleep well? Good morning. So cool. After one night, the effects of Cupid Arrow hasn't worn off. I can't help but be respectful to him. Of course, that's because the effects of Cupid Bow last 30 days. But what do I do with this? I can use the lead and arrow to undo all of this, but I'll lose the joyous feeling of falling in love and being in love. I was afraid it would fundamentally change me and what I stood for as Cupid, so I didn't use it.
ん？
What's
どうした？
wrong? Gently stroking my hair, Allan smiles quietly. He's not fair. He knows I like him, and yet he's making such an indulgent gesture. It's nothing. Can I hug you?
いいよ。
Sure. Allan nodded as if it was something he was used to saying. I was filled with happiness as I hugged him. Love is such a satisfying feeling. I'm so happy I want to cry. I buried my face in his chest and kissed him on his cheek. He then chuckled and patted me on the back.
恋をすると君ってこんなに大胆になるんだ。
You are bold when you're in love.
初めて食った時にも思ったけど、夢と現実の大胆さはリンクしてたみたいだね。
I thought the same thing when I first ate your dream, but turns out you're also like this in reality. I didn't know either. Hey, Allan.
ん？
What do you think of my dream last night?
ああ。すごく美味しかったよ。
It was
今
very
まで
good.
食ってきた夢の中で
Best I've
一番。
ever had. Really?
ああ。神様がくれた運命の奇跡に感謝しなくちゃね。
I should be thanking God for this miracle. His sweetly whispered voice made me feel dizzy, but I'm glad to hear that my dream tasted so good. Everything turned out alright. Originally, I came to see Allan to protect the customers of Cupid Corp as a ban, as a bit in, it's a bit inconvenient, but I'll leave the golden arrow effects alone. As long as I'm in love, I can protect Cupid Corp customers. So, will you go out with me? When I looked up at him, Allan was silent for a moment as if he was taken aback, and then he asked me back,
付き合う
You
俺と
want to go out with me? Can I not? I fell in love with you to save your life, you know. So take responsibility from now on. Only eat my dreams, okay? I thought I said it in a calculated way, but I started to mean it. Ugh, my heart aches and I clung desperately to him. Protecting the customers should have been my primary goal, but now I'm eager to make it official with them. Just for the next 30 days, until the effects of the arrow wear off, go on with me and eat only my dreams. I'm sure Allan won't be able to live without my dreams. He said that mine are the best he ever had. But this is all an excuse. I just want to be with the person I love. Even if these feelings were created by my arrow, it's a real love for me right now. Please? When I looked up at him, he flinched.
俺こう見えて怖い悪魔なんだけど
I'm a kawaii. I'm a scary demon, you know. I don't mind.
神様が悪魔に恋していいと思ってるの
Do you think it's okay for a goddess to fall in love with a demon? I'm totally fine.
君と出会う前にはもっともっとひどいことしてきたんだけど
I've done a lot of bad things before. I will accept them all. After my determined reply, Allan gazed at me, then finally nodded.
わかったよ君もそのままじゃ辛いだろうしね
Alright, I know it's hard on you too. Really? I'm so happy. I hugged him as tightly as I could and he panicked.
もちろん矢の効果がある30日間だけだよ
This is
わかってるよ
only
ね
for 30 days. You understand that, right? Yeah. For 30 days, I can be a real lover with a person I love. Don't eat other girls' dreams. Eat only my dreams every day.
わかったよ
Alright. With a bitter smile, Allan pat me on the head. Good. Now we don't have to lose more Cupid Corp members. It'll be a relief to not hear customers say my dreams are better than reality.
それより会社の時間は平気
By the way, don't you have work? Oh, I looked at my watch and saw that it was already time for me to leave for work. Oh no. This is the store on 9th Avenue, and even though it's closer to my office than my house, it only saves 15 minutes. I jumped out of bed and hurried to get ready to leave. Just in time. When I reached my desk, I sighed deeply. I was in such a hurry that if Ruki saw me now, I think he would have frowned as hard as he could. Anyway, now that the incubus won't be eating our members' dreams anymore, I can focus on matchmaking. I started my work as usual, however, I couldn't devote myself 100% as normally. What was this due to the magic of love? And the popular line goes, I can't think about anything else because all I can think about is him. I don't know that line. I wonder how Allan's doing right now. As I was working in a daze, I suddenly noticed a file left on my desk. This is the folder where I filed my Parasite 5 sheets. Because they left out service, I think I was responsible to discard them. I can sneak a little peek at Allan's profile sheet though, can't I? I looked around before unfolding the profile sheet. doesn't like cucumbers. Just by looking at the words Allan had written, I could feel my heart ache as if they were tightening. I read through the sheet meticulously. Hang on, my eye just started to feel watery. I read through this sheet meticulously for the sake of the interview prep to the point that I could have burnt holes in it, but now it feels different. This is love. It's the emotion I've recommended to so many people. Allan doesn't like cucumbers. He's 5'8". My heart was beating faster and faster as I felt like I was learning something new about him, even though I already knew this information. I'm very happy, but this is exhausting. I desperately squeezed my eyes shut, unable to endure all this heartfelt love. Despite my confused feelings, my whole body was swept up in the feeling of adoration. My cheeks were burning, my head was hot, my breathing was shallow, and my heart was pounding. Cupid's arrows are powerful, aren't they? It might not be wise to use them carelessly. The effects are not good for everyday life. Maybe I could have persuaded Daddy by shooting him with the arrow. Maybe on a different route. The power of the gods can betray one's intentions. Over jealous, my arrows would be unwise even for compatible couples.
なんか今日あなた可愛くない？
Kinda cute today. Huh? I hurriedly put down the profile sheet and looked up at Clarice, chuckling at me.
恋してる人の顔してるわ。お相手は昨日泊まった家の人かしら。
You have the look of someone in love. Is it the guy whose house you stayed at last night? What? Well, that is, her eyes lit up and I struggled with my words.
おめでとう。じゃあ同棲しちゃいなよ。泊まってきたってことは両思いなんでしょ？
Congratulations, and you should live together if you stay over. That means you love each other, right? Live together. That might be a good idea since he needs to eat my dreams every day. But I feel like it's too early to truly call it love. Still, even though it's only for 30 days, we decided to do it. And he also assured me that he would only eat my dreams. I guess it's a mutual benefit for us. I'm gonna ask him if I can stay over tonight. I pulled out my phone and sent a text after asking if I could see him again tonight. I received a quick okay reply. I felt my cheeks relax and I saw Allan's name displayed in the sender field.
本当に好きなのね。ちゃんと捕まえておきなさいよ。私のことは気にしなくていいから。
You really like him, don't you? You should snatch him up. Don't worry about me. The meaningful wink Clarice went off with her heels clicking. Clarice is so much more experienced with men than I am. She instantly knew that I was in love. Do I look that obvious? I looked at my phone and saw Allan's text message on the screen. A smile appeared on my face that was so giddy it was obvious to everyone. After leaving work and returning home, I went to Allan's store with my sleepover set. When I gently opened the door and peeked inside, Allan was serving a customer. I watched for a short distance as the customer lay down on the fitting bed and tried out a pillow.
あら、この枕すっごく気持ちいい。
Oh, this
肩も凝らなそうね。
pillow feels so good. I won't have any back pain.
ええ。他に低反発枕なども取り揃えておりますが、そちらも試されますか？
Yes, we also have low resilience pillows. Would you like to try one of those?
もし音など気にならないようでしたら、ストロー状のパイプなどもおすすめですよ。丈夫なので長持ちしますし。
If you don't mind the noise, I recommend a tube-shaped pillow. tube-shaped pipe pillow. It's strong and will last for a long time.
でもこれをいただいていくわ。そろそろ帰らなきゃいけないの。
I'll take this one since I have to go now.
かしこまりました。それではお包みいたしますね。
Absolutely, I'll wrap it up for you.
お願い。これで今晩からぐっすり寝られそうね。
Thank you. Yes, please. I think I'm going to get a good night's sleep now. Allan was serving customers without his usual lure. He wasn't trying to entice them into the bed to feed. He was keeping his promise. I'm so glad.
本日はお買い上げありがとうございました。またのご来店をお待ちしております。
Thank you for your purchase today. We look forward to serving you again.
またダメになったら来るわね。そういう意味では長持ちしないものにしてよかったわ。長持ちされたらここに来る理由が作れないもの。
Yes, I'll come back if I need a new one. In fact, I'm glad I chose something not as resilient. If I did, I wouldn't have a reason to return.
お上手ですね。メンテナンスなども受け付けてますので、ダメにならなくともお気軽にお越しください。
We also do maintenance, so feel free to visit even if you don't need a new pillow.
そうなの？じゃあ近々また来るわね。
Really? Then I'll be back soon. As the customer left, I enter the store. I stared a little at the female customers whose words were suggesting some sort of attraction to Allan. I guess this feeling is also part of being in love, the jealousy of wanting someone to only look at you. No, I have to keep an open mind.
ああ、おかえり。
Welcome. Here I am. I could feel my cheeks heating up at the mere mention of welcome from him. This is not good. I have a feeling I would listen to everything Allan would say right now, even if it was being reckless. That's how powerful love is. My body is dominated by the thought of not wanting him to hate me. I can't wait for this to wear off, but this is the only way to protect people's dreams.
じゃあ2階に行こうか。もう寝る？
Let's go upstairs then. Do you want to go to bed? Oh, I haven't eaten yet. Shoot, I should have eaten. Allan is an incubus. I was just taught that he doesn't need to eat human food. I'm a goddess, so I don't really need to eat too, but I can't help it. Being in the human realm makes me hungry.
そっか、そうだったな。じゃあ買い出しに行くか。実は冷蔵庫に今何もないんだ。
See, that's right. Well, let's go to the store because there's nothing in the fridge right now.
明日の朝食のこともあるしさ。
We'll have breakfast tomorrow. The natural flow, Allan hugs me by the waist like a boyfriend who would take care of me. This made me happy, so I smiled and nodded. Then we went to the supermarket together to buy some food. The two of us pushed the cart and brought tomatoes and pork. I also bought some wine and cheese for us to enjoy together. It was unnecessary meal. It was an unnecessary meal for Allan, but he's willing to talk about my ideas evening meal. What? He's willing to talk about my ideal evening meal. Okay. I asked Allan to carry the heavier bag, and we walked back to his store holding hands. I'll cook, so please sit down and wait. Rolling up my sleeves, I stood up in front of the stove.
俺が作るよ。
Want me to cook for you? It's okay, leave it to me. Even though Allan has good taste in cooking, it's not enough for me. He cooks good with disregard for nutrition. He doesn't even know what the human body needs. I wanted to have something I will cook for me, but because I saw a lot of food at the supermarket, I couldn't resist the desire to indulge.
へえ、キューピッドなのに料理できるんだ。
Even though you're Cupid, you can cook. Of course, even Cupid gets hungry in the human realm.
ほんと、悪魔と神って結構違うね。
Demons and gods are quite different. I noticed Allan was standing behind me. He stuck to my back and observed my hands.
へえ、 君はそうやってジャガイモの芽を取るんだ。
So that's how you remove potato sprouts. He placed his hand on my stomach, hugged me from behind, and whispered in my ear. That was enough to get my heart racing up. I'm so nervous.
ああ、ズッキーニの皮は剥かなくていいと思うよ。キューカンバーと似てるけど、カボチャの仲間だって知ってた？
I don't think you need to peel zucchini. It looks like a cucumber, but did you know it's a type of squash? Oh, really?
前に調べたから間違いないよ。それと、ピーラーの持ち方はこうした方がいい。
I checked before, so I'm sure. And you should hold the pillar like this. His hand gently traces the back of my hand as he whispers in my ear.
Nani?
What? It's nothing. If he keeps talking to me like this, I won't be able to ask him for some space while I cook since it'll be unsafe. Feeling Allan's warmth on my back, I struggled to keep my composure and continued cooking, but I couldn't help but feel hot all over. The person I love is hugging me from behind.
ローズマリーで香り付けするんだね。これが食欲をそそる匂いってことか。経験できてよかったよ。
I see you use rosemary for a season for your food. So that's what an appetizer smells like. I couldn't concentrate, and it was all because he was always giving me feedback. I clenched my teeth and tried my best to control my emotions, and yet...
料理、上手だね。
You're a good cook. He suddenly kissed my ear and I froze completely. That's not fair. You're just my temp boyfriend. He just wants to feed from me. To an incubus, a woman with dreams of love is nothing but food to them. I'm sure he's done this before. That's why he's touching me so casually. He really is sly. I'd rather have a business-like relationship. If he continues being sweet to me, I'll want more. I'm not going to be able to keep my control. My emotions are soaring and plummeting like a roller coaster, and I feel like I'm about to be swept off my feet. Here, it's done. I resisted temptation. I finished cooking the food and placed it on the table. A simple meal of minestrone bread and a sautéed pork with herbs. Also some cheese with wine. Would you like some?
そうだね。
Sure, I'll try
せっ
it.
かくだ。
Allan served himself a small portion and took a seat. We then faced each other and began to eat.
へえ。君の味付けはこんな感じなんだね。
So that's how you season your dish. He ate with a smile on his face, I swear. As a demon, he likely didn't taste a single bit of food, but he was quick to praise my cooking. I felt a small pain in my chest at the sight of him. A parasite house, you said you used to have a girl cook for you. I can't help but wonder how many women have received the same kind of behavior. I assume a lot of women cook for him, and at night, Allan would feed on their dreams. I wonder if he kissed them too. No. Jealousy is only exhausting. I'm just in love because of Cupid's arrow. Don't let unnecessary feelings grow. Don't do it. There's no need for jealousy. It's a feeling I'm already shaking off because I like him, I got curious. Come on, Cupid. You're in love by mistake. I can't help but be curious. How has he been treating women so far? Is he just using them for food? Or it bothered me and I couldn't eat at all, so I was there. So this is what they call love sickness. I was so hungry earlier, but I lost my appetite. When we finished our small evening meal together, we took turns taking showers, preparing for the evening. I changed in my pajamas and was ready for bed. However, I lingered on the couch because sleeping meant having my dream eaten by Allan, which means I will be making love with him in the dream. At that moment, he held his hand out to me in front of me, a more rugged hand that is bigger than mine, a man's hand.
じゃあ、
Let's go to
寝よっ
sleep.
か。
Okay. I stood up from the couch and headed towards his bed for him to feed on me.
ほら、おいで。キスをしよ
Come on, kiss me. Incubus are said to appear in the dreams of their ideal partner. Now that I was in love with Allan, he looked like Allan in my dreams. When I closed my eyes, his lips were on mine, a kiss like a touch of cotton that I have had many times in my dream. It feels good, I think. Since it's a dream, it's fluffy and elusive, and when I wake up, I forget this feeling. I kiss the man I love. I can't believe this isn't real. I wish I could remember this experience outside of the dream. Sometimes I can remember these dreams for a while, but they fade over time, and only a sweet, happy feeling remains. This creation is a notable difference between a dream and reality, and that's why women were becoming dissatisfied with real
う。
life.
ほら、集中して。上
Here,
に乗ってごらん。
concentrate, get on top. We intertwine our fingers, kiss, and I sit on him. I'm supposed to be in the arms of someone I love, but I feel lonely because this is not reality. It is a situation where I am being held by someone I love, even if it's a dream. For some reason, I wanted to cry and cling to him in a dream. It felt so good that I almost forgot myself, but I still remembered that I was dreaming. Why doesn't he let me immerse myself more in a dream, you know? Regardless, I continued to seek him greedily. I woke up suddenly. Is it still nighttime? I turned towards the window and saw Allan standing there. He gazed absently up at the moon, the moonlight washing over him so that I couldn't see the expression on his face. Still, I got the sense that he was lonely somehow. Does Allan ever sleep? Since he was an incubus, maybe he slept all day and only woke up at night. Although when we were at Parasite House, he was always awake during the afternoon. Maybe he didn't need to sleep at all. After all, he didn't need to eat.
ん？起きちゃった？
Ah, you're awake. Seeing that I was awake, he turned to look at me. Yeah,
まだ深夜だから。寝てていいよ。
it's only past midnight. You can go back to sleep. I sat up on the bed and he came over and started stroking my hair. His touch was gentle as if I were a child. The look of genuine compassion in his eyes almost made me recoil. Is he really capable of such an expression? He just kept stroking my hair, and I can't deny how relaxing that sensation was. I could feel my eyelids getting heavy again. Allan.
ん？
Yes. Please stay with me.
もちろんだよ。どこにも行かないから。安心しておやすみ。
I will. I don't know why I thought he was really going to say my name that one time. I'm not going anywhere. Just rest easy and get a good night's sleep, Leah. Okay, good night. I smiled as his hand continued to caress me. The person I love, a lover for 30 days. He acts as if he's in love with me, but he's just pretending so that he can feed off of the most delicious dreams ever. In my dreams, we touch each other with such intimacy, but in real world, we hardly ever come in contact. Of course, we haven't kissed yet. My heart had started to ache again. I pulled a blanket over me, feeling neither sadness nor loneliness. All I felt were his hands touching me. As I surrendered my head into the pillow he had pillow he had chosen for me. Sorry, my brain didn't correlate the pillow for a second. It's the sleepiness, I assume. Yay! Okay, we're gonna continue this on our next adventure, which should be Wednesday. Should be Wednesday, because Tuesday I'm playing Sympathy's Kiss. right. One page from a lover. I'm excited to see that his route seems to be the route that has more secrets being unlocked, especially since you could play these first 5 in any order, so you could have gotten this one first if you did want to. Um, Curious as it is, we're gonna have to see how it goes. Go to home real quick just so we have good sounds. Yeah, we're getting there. We're only on the 4th-ish of his. His has got
はーい、イベントビューへようこそ。
a
神話について語
lot.
り合おう。
Yeah, we have 3 of 20 in his, so we got still ways to go on his. But it's curious and I like it. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out my more recent stuff on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, I upload all the VODs onto YouTube. Currently, Cupid Parasite is uploading as we speak. And then we're going to be starting Sympathy's Kiss here tomorrow. I'm really excited. So thank you so much for joining me. Bye!